over. And don't you forget it. Let me see if I have everything set up correctly before I get started. I'm gonna make sure I have everything set up correctly before I get started. I want to make sure that everything's done. Testing, testing. Turkey sandwich, T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, turkey sandwich. LA, can you hear me? Ali Ali Free. LA, are you there? Present. Okay, I can hear myself good. Good morning, everybody. My name is LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy though. Okay, um, let me push a pause on it. I have to finish. I'm waiting to pause that. Will it let me pause it? Okay. So the next thing on the list of things to do is find my sidebar. Find your sidebar so I can scroll down and get things going. It's time for me to start getting ready. LA, what do you mean it's time for you to start getting ready? Look, I'm here on time and that's what matters, right? Yes, that's all that matters. I'm here. Good morning. It is Taco Tuesday, August 14th, 2025. I was about to say it is October. I mean, not October. I was about to say it was October 2024, but it's 2025. Thank you guys for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Oh my goodness, it's stuck. It's stuck. Why do my rollers are supposed to help prevent the hair from falling apart, right? So why do they get tangled up in there in my hair when I'm trying to take them out? Well, this time it went well, but sometimes when I take out my rollers, they get tangled up still. I'm like, this is supposed to help the hair not get tangled up. But y'all, mine get tangled up sometimes. Too many times than it should. Whew. Good morning. Hey, Tarsus. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Taking these rollers out of the back of my hair. Goodness. And I'm like, how rollers are supposed to keep the hair from breaking, so you don't have to use heat all the time. But when I take my hair out, the rollers, they still get caught. My hair still get caught in these parts. I'm like, why for? It don't make sense. Good morning to you. It is a very comfortable day here in the land of Earth. Yes, the land of planet Earth. I want to put some cows in the chat too. It's pretty early for cows in the chat, but I want to do that too. Oh, once the mouse allows me. Good morning, everybody. Today is going to be what? Another good day. You know why? Because a little cow told me. I was hanging out on the farm this morning, which is why, story time, which is why y'all saw me taking my rollers out on live. The cows was out there crying and carrying on, so I had to go see what the commotion was, because usually they're standing around waiting for me to go live. Some of these people who watch me, y'all, they don't engage with me or engage with you and I while we're live streaming, with the cool peeps. And so it be like the be numbers in the chat is what I'm saying. It's numbers in the chat, but y'all don't see the engagement because some of them be cows. They be out on the farm watching us engage, but since they have hooves, it's hard for them to interact. And then on top of that, they don't want the farm people to know that they can talk to people like that. It is scare them, like the what was it, back at the barnyard? Yeah, so it be cows in the chat for real. So I had to go out and ask them what's going on. So what happened is the temperature dropped outside. And I'm like, dang it, y'all need some blankets? And they was like, yeah, we need some blankets. So y'all, I had to get up like extra early, like 2 hours early before I normally get up to go see what's going on with the cows outside. They needed some blankets because they were cold. Their owners had them sleeping outside the barn because the weather ladies promised them it was going to be a nice mild day for cows to sleep. So That's the story. So cows be in here watching us, and they don't interact, but they be watching us. I can tell you that for sure. Good morning. May the moo be with you. Yes, may the moo. That this is Star Trek. May the moo be with you. Murr, 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 murr. Y'all, wouldn't that be cool if it was a mooing symphony or an orchestra mooing collectively as one live on concert? We have the Morning Moo Choir. Leading the Morning Moo Choir, we have the Morning Moo Quartet. So we have the Morning Moo Male Quartet, and then we'll have the Morning Moo Choir, and all of them are just singing. Moo! Moo! That sounds like dogs, don't it? Moo! That sounds like dogs. Oh, meow, meow, meow. Thank you guys for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing great. I'm finally ready. I wanted to be on time, so I had to finish getting ready right now. Meow, meow, meow. Yes, may the mood be with you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things that are here in this wonderful place called planet Earth. They say America is the great melting pot. I'm like, you're wrong. Planet Earth is the melting pot. I want to welcome everybody from around the world and outside space, around space, and beyond space. Good morning to all of y'all, and thank you for coming into LA TV Morning Moo. It is a Tuesday over here, so not only are you hanging with the cool peeps on Morning Moo, it is Taco Tuesday. Moo, moo, moo. Taco Tuesday. Everybody get a taco. Everybody get a taco. Right now, I'm starting calls in the chat a little bit early because I'm just going with the swing of things. Going with the swing of things. Please don't start. It's too early. Going with the swing of things. So, while I sing a little song called Cows in the Chat, this is the time where you can put cows in the chat, animals emojis in the chat, or your favorite emojis in general in the chat. Harmonica, please. Thank you. Cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. Cows in the chat. Calls in the chat. Cows in the chat. Calls in the chat. Cows in the chat. Calls in the chat. Now that I'm putting some cows in the chat, I want to put something else special in the chat that'll provide a pop of color. We've got cats coming on in the chat. Well, let's sing a little song. Cows in the chat. Cats in the chat. A camel in the chat. A llama in the chat. Hey, cows in the chat. Calls in the chat. Cows in the chat. Calls in the chat. Followed by some, oh, we have sheep. Is that a ram or a sheep? We have animals flooding the chat, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you have your digital air spray with you because it's a lot of animals in here, and it's just going to make the atmosphere of the chat be a little more fumigated. Shh, aerosol, shh, aerosol, shh. We have all these animals in the chat. Let's liven it up and make the digital airways be a little more freshened. You know, animals come with a little aroma. So let's cleanse the palate by putting flowers in there with the cows in the chat. Cows in the chat is because I like cows, obviously, because I'm wearing this cow thing. Number two, I want to deeply apologize from the bottom of my 3 cow stomachs, and I'm utterly, sincerely sorry that NASA, aka the science people, and the government people are placing the blame of global warming and the alleged impending doom on cows. Here at LA TV, we like to spend a few moments, only a few moments of our time to say we are sorry. I am sorry, cows, that they are placing the blame of the alleged ending of the world on you. It's apparent, y'all, that they have run out of people to place the blame on. So now they are placing the blame on these precious bovine, aka cows. I am so sorry. We have so much in life to worry about. Now, as a cow, all these cows gotta worry about carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're like, we gotta tell people to eat more chicken every day in and day out. They want milk too. Now they telling us we the ones that's causing the global warming. That's what the cow's talking about on the farms, y'all. So the farmers who have dairy farms, I'm here to let you know. I think the cows, you guys need to circle around and have a morning meeting with your fellow cows on your dairy farms and just talk with them. You know, get on your soapbox and say, hey, I am sorry for all the things humans have put you through. And then now they're placing global warming and the alleged impending doom on planet Earth here. I am sorry, cows. No wonder the milk production is low. You guys' well-being is down into the sewers. From one farmer to a cow, I want to say, I want you guys to take a couple of days off, get some rest, relax, talk amongst yourselves and live to see another day. You think they're gonna do that? No. So that's why I'm taking this fine time to let the cows know I am so sorry of all the things that are happening. Another thing, good morning to you, Reginald. Another thing, P.S. If it wasn't for cows, y'all, there would not be any Burger King. Flame Bros in the chats. Flame Bros in the chats. If it wasn't for cows, there wouldn't be any barbecues. There wouldn't even be any Burger Kings. Flame Bros in the chat one time for the one time. Eat more chicken. We need barbecues. On the other side of the world, it's about to be springtime for y'all. Y'all need to put some burgers on the grill. So we need the cows to be happy and in their place so they can do their job. I love cows. They are amazing. And he said, I don't mean to be cheesy. We're going to put some cheese in the chat. What's going on, Doris Sanchez? We're about to put some cheese in the chat for Tarsus. Here you go, some cheese. Meow, meow, meow. Cheeseburger, hamburger. Give me your burger. Give me something. Yes, it's cold in NYC. I am reporting live from the glorious state of Georgia, and it is chilly out there. It's chilly. It's chilly. It's chilly. The weather lady actually says something right the day before yesterday. She was like, it's kind of chilly outside. She didn't tell us to get a light jacket. She actually told us to get a sweater. So for some of y'all, it's sweater weather. It's cold outside without you here in the arms of my sweater. Sweater. Y'all, that's a tongue twister. Sweater weather is here to stay for this side of the planet. Shouts out to all the glorious people on the other side of the world and who get to rest and relax outside in the springtime with all the beautiful birds and the bees. It's funny because I've been seeing birds flying around still. And in my mind, I'm like, aren't y'all supposed to be going somewhere else? Because it's getting chilly here. I guess these birds are getting tough. I mean, they had to adapt. So I guess, they say in life you must adapt. All things evolve. So all I can say is, for all these things to evolve, birds must be getting tougher. That's one tough bird. So in the light of birds allegedly getting tougher because, life brings about a change and you have to get stronger. When y'all order chicken from KFC, is the chicken tougher now? Since life getting tough, we have to get tough. Thank you for the heart, Doris Sanchez. So does that mean when we go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, Church's Chicken, or what have you, is the chicken getting tough? Are the chicken tenders getting tougher? Now that the birds have to get tougher because life is causing us to get tougher. Tough chicken. Let's go get us some tough chicken. Oh man. Let's go get some tough chicken. I'm typing that in here. Let's go get some tough chicken. uh-huh. Let's go get some tough chicken. Let me find the laughing one. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We're just hanging out with my cool people. That means moo, moo, and moo. Welcome to Tuesday. It is officially almost like 5:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over here. Everyone's still waking up. Some of the people over here are asleep. Some of the people are up getting ready to go to school. They have to catch the bus. They have to get up a couple hours early just to get to work or school on time. Shouts out to all of you fine people who are on your way here and there. Today I have some water and I have my cereal with me. I may not eat the cereal, but I have it with me just in case. I'm just super comfortable right now, real low, real chill, and this feels comfortable. The old rooster after 8 years are nice and tough and meaty. Tough chicken, so you gotta get the mallet, Tarsus. You gotta get the mallet and make sure it's tender. Rise on every and all sides. I guess this is where my great grandma would take out her frustration. My grandma, I believe I know she had a farm. I got to be on her farm for a few days, and I honestly wish my mama left me there. So that's another story for another day. My great grand, she had a farm, her and her husband. And so back in the day, I was told that because my grandma, I believe she was married. My great grandma was married. But back in the day, I was told that's how the house, exactly, you've got the hammer. That's how the housewives of that time took out their frustration. When it was time to tenderize the meat and the food, they just took it out, turn it over on the food. Oh, bam! Bam! I'm like, wow, I really don't want to be in the kitchen when she's in there tenderizing the food. Maybe that's why men say to this day, leave the women in the kitchen. That probably derived from the fact that that's the only place women was able to take out their frustration back then. And guys didn't want to be around because they all had their mallets in their hand, tenderizing the food, but they're going around the table talk about, I'm sick, bam, and tired, bam, bam. I'm like, I'm a girl. I don't even want to be in the kitchen around them when they have that. Why eat cereal when you can chew on rooster jerky? Cue the goofy laugh. Now, I have not heard of rooster jerky, but that is funny because it gets tough. So when you selling roosters on the farm, heaven forbid that day will come, can you get them for less? Are they for less money since that is the case? I'm like, be quiet. Stop it. I cannot. Moving along into the story. Today's topic, you guys, is going to be about the taxi cab service and like Lyft and Uber. It's official for me, and I think it's collectively official for the world to see that Uber and Lyft is basically the new taxi cab for the day. Now, I grew up with the taxi cab, the yellow cab checker service, and where I was born and raised, okay? And the playground where I spent most of my days. Moving on, so I grew up with the taxi cab, and even in that time, but it seems like my parents grew up being super scared all the time. They weren't superstitious, they were something else, but they seemed to live in fear all the time. Yo, you don't want to be in no taxi cab. They dirty, filthy, The taxi cab drivers crazy. They don't bathe. They basically homeless. They living in their cars. You can't trust them. It's seedy to be driving around in a taxi cab. I'm like, well, woman, how you expect me to get anywhere when you don't want to take me anywhere? I got to do something. Some roosters are prized for the meats price for their meats is priceless. I can't say it's true. I would think it was on Netflix perhaps. There's some show they have on there that my husband and I actually watched and it was good. It was like a rooster contest, and they took care of the chickens and it was really cool where yeah, it was a whole contest where they just how they have the dog contest where they do the dog tricks and stuff and they get trophies on the sports channel? Well, they have the same thing for chickens and roosters. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So, that's pretty cool. I convinced my neighbor once that I would be, oh no. And what did your neighbor come out with a cup of coffee? So, how's it going with those chickens? Leaning over the fence being nosy with binoculars. So Tarsus. That sounds like the little man. That sounds like the little man. He's here, and here he comes because he heard us talking about him. Chicken cheese sandwich sounds divine today. Don't that sounds good? So chicken cheese sandwich, baked chicken, grilled chicken, boiled chicken, or fried chicken. What type of chicken cheese sandwich would you want? For me, for my chicken cheese sandwich, I will want, it's early in the morning, so I will probably be safe and ask for a chicken salad type of sandwich with cheese, toasted, the toasted bun, slightly toasted, and I have to have some fries. I don't care. It's early in the morning over here, and I'm like, if I'm going to have my chicken cheese sandwich, I need some fries. So yes, I need some French fries to go with that, regardless of what time of day it is. If anything, if you don't have fries, okay, I'll take a bag of chips because technically it's potatoes. But y'all, it's not the same. You want to see a grown adult woman, i.e. myself, break down. Y'all want to see me break down in a restaurant? What you mean you had no fries? You gotta have French fries. No fries? Wow, it's not the same. Y'all, it's not the same. I go to Subway and I just be like, I like Subway sandwiches, but they don't have fries. So it's like I have to go to another restaurant and get some fries to go on the side of my sandwich. That's just what it is. It's like I cannot go on living like this. I cannot go on living like this. You said I'm so hungry. Again, I do this every single time. Every time. So about those taxi cabs. Yeah, about those taxi cabs. LA, weren't you supposed to be talking about taxi cabs? Yeah, I'm trying to get around to it. I'm trying to get around to the taxi cabs. So taxi cabs growing up was something that was frowned upon in my circle of people who thought otherwise. But I like the taxi cab service because it signifies independence. You don't necessarily have to take the public transportation far as the bus. Hey, what's going on, Chile? Good morning. How you doing, Chile? Good morning. We're up here talking about a combination of taxi cabs, the OG taxi cabs, and chicken sandwiches with some fries. How we talked about chicken sandwiches and some fries is a whole nother story. Food every time. It happens every time. So you ever get to a taxi cab, the taxi cab is dirty. It's like it's so dirty. It's food everywhere. The windows smudged. The windows so dirty they look smudged out. And the taxi cab stop the car, give you the evil eye, talk about ain't no eating in this cab. I'm like, what you mean ain't no eating in this taxi cab? Take a look around. It's a mess back here. It's trash everywhere. So what me eating the food gonna contribute to? More dirt? I'm like, okay. And he turned around, I'm sneaking fries and eating my food. I'm like, he must have lost his everlasting mind. No eating in my cab. Bruh, it's a disaster in here. I cannot. It's the gall of it all. The gall of it all. In my time in driving in the actual taxi cab that's yellow and black, the checker taxi cabs, unfortunately, because the stigma that was placed on it and all these undertones of that, you shouldn't drive in a taxi cab. Taxi cabs are for bad people and people of the night. I tell you, y'all, small town minds, small town brains. Taxi cabs are for people who work in the night. I'm like, what y'all mean by that? Never mind. Your mind too tiny to understand. So why you even talking like that around me? But the taxi cabs I went in, they weren't really dirty at all. Only thing that was dirty was pretty much the partition that was between the driver and ourselves. This was before C19 was ever invented. I can say this taxi cab drivers were on it. They had the big plastic partition to divide the driver, from the driver from the person driving in the car, whatever it is, the driver and the me, you know. So that was the only thing that was pretty much smudgy and dirty. Besides all that, yeah, the taxi cab driver I had, he did have long gray hair. It touched to his shoulders, y'all, and his hair, it was just long and stringy and gray. And it was crazy because he looked like the stereotypical taxi cab drivers they show like in Ghostbusters. Hey kids, y'all want some candy? But beyond all that, he seemed really cool to me, So I took a cab to go to work a few times in my life because I had to get there. So I enjoyed my taxi cab experience. And the cab was nice, and I liked that I was the only one in there because I didn't have to worry about somebody tagging along. But I enjoyed my taxi cab experience, although the taxi cab guy that I always seem to get did fit the bill of the stereotypical taxi cab drivers, like the look. Yes, he did look like he been sitting in his car for 2 days and didn't wipe his face, but he didn't smell. So I'm like, what are these people talking about? He talked all the way there. I didn't have to say much, so it was like listening to a live radio. He just drove and blah blah blah, yeah, get a smack it, blah blah blah, yeah, get a smack it. I'm like, this is fine by me. I don't have to say one word, not one word. And he got me to my destination about 5 minutes beforehand. I don't know if I tipped him or not, but I sure paid, and I was glad I got to work on time, and that was that. I'm like, what people complaining about for? This is a walk in the park. Do y'all have any checker yellow cab, taxi cab horror stories? Because I sure don't. I had a good experience and it was fun. So moving forward, taxi cabs, Ubers and Lyfts are the new taxi cabs for today. So children of today, y'all didn't have to experience the yellow checker taxi cab. Don't that sound funny? Children of today. Good morning, Sizzle Moon Song. We have Sizzle Moon Song in the Heezy. Thank you guys for coming in. Sizzle Moon Song in the Heezy. Children of today. a yellow checkered taxi cab may be something that it was only a myth or a dream or a fantasy that you heard of in some distant time and in some distant land. Once upon a time, my mama and my granddaddy talked about they had to drive around in yellow taxis. It was basically the yellow cheese bus for adults, but except they had to pay. And they said they hated every moment of it. The children of the day are like, we own Uber, we own Lyft, and we do rideshare so we can split the bill and we can go wherever we want to. All we got to do is press a button on our app and we can go where we want. We can get dropped off where we want. And girl, we get stops in between. We can stop to the store and get some snacks before we go where we really trying to go. Hey, I'm like, be quiet. Ubers and Lyfts. And now we have YouTubers. They are acting like, well, the YouTubers are today's celebrities, whether you Hollywood people like it or not. YouTube is the new Hollywood, and it shows because YouTube, unfortunately, is corrupt now. Welcome to Hollywood. This is the new Hollywood, YouTube. I vomit at the thought. Be in it, not of it. Be in it, not of it, LA. Be in it, not of it. Welcome to the new Hollywood called social media, live streaming. So the new Hollywood people, also known as the YouTube streamers, they have arrived now. There's a batch of YouTubers who have arrived. So now they pride themselves on not taking a taxi, but taking a black. And they say, I'm like, well, black, what they talking about taking the black? Y'all talk about magic? No, girl, they talk about Uber black. Uber black. I'm like, well, excuse me, that's beyond my pay grade. I'm here down at the lowly bottom, just gleaming for hope. Bags of change. Living off a wig and the prayer. I don't know what kind of foreign talk y'all talking about. But what is this Uber black y'all talks about? It sounds strange. No, it's basically where the if you don't want any problems, if you don't want any trouble, if you don't want any bull, you want to get there on time, you take a higher tier apparently, and it's called that. Nonetheless, that is where we are today through my eyes in reference to taking the taxi, which is a long ago and far away myth now, according to the new children of today, versus Lyft and Uber and any other ride share services that they have in between. What's going on, owls? Thank you guys for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I know some of you who are actually, I remember the words, commuting from work or to work, just have me on in the background so you're unable to text to drive. So thank you for having me on. Please get there safe. Some of you have made it home successfully. But yeah, I like Ubers, I like Lyfts, and I still like taxis. They make the world go round, and the more the better, the more the merrier. The more taxi cab services we have, it increases my chances of finding a service that's within my comfort zone of pay. You know what I'm saying? So I have here an AI overview. Shouts out to AI overview. Is Uber and Lyft the new taxi? Is Uber and Lyft the new taxi? Yes, it is. Come on. Everyone knows that's what. LA. Remember, that's what we rolled in when you gave us our checks early last week. I know that. Will you sit down, please? Okay, for those of you who don't know, last week they left early. I gave them their checks early because they want to go on vacation. And they took an Uber and they left. Thank you, owls. Everything is going well over here. I'm feeling comfortable. Just taking my time. What's the rush? I'm sitting down. I'm comfortable. Only time I'm on is the time of being on time. And y'all, I was on time. So what more should I have to worry about? So according to AI overview, my cool peeps, yes, for most people, Uber and Lyft have become the new taxis. The new taxis, though they are technically rideshare services with key differences. Here we go with the key differences. And traditionally, taxis are still part of the transportation landscape. Uber and Lyft offer convenient smartphone-based booking and payment, which has led to a decline in traditional taxi use in many areas. The future is likely a mix of rideshare with both human and future self-driving vehicles and traditional taxis. I still see a mixture of different taxis around here. More or less, I see less of the yellow and black checkered services, but I still see a resemblance of. Let's say what I'm seeing now is more fleet taxi cab services, but like independent ones. You know how you have mom and pop bakeries? So I'm seeing more independent mom and pop taxi services. So they're getting jiggy with it. Yes, jiggy with it. Wait a minute. How old are you? Be quiet. Getting jiggy with it and getting creative with their rideshare services. So they're making their fleet of cars look really cool. So I do like that. Little guy did not get banned from Wendy's, not that I know of. They still haven't told me or filled me in on what they talked about when they left early. All I know was they needed some time off to get away from Hercules. And they've been kind of quiet since they've been back. So, I'm not gonna force their hands and have them tell us what they talked about, but nonetheless, they're here. They're floating around talking amongst themselves. Currently, they're eating popcorn and didn't even offer me any. So how Uber and Lyft replace taxis. Okay, AI overview. Thank you for this. This is good. I'm excited. I'm about to read this. So you guys, how Uber and Lyft replace taxis. Convenience, service availability, decline in traditional taxis. Bullet point 1, how Uber and Lyft replace taxis, the convenience part. Passengers can use a smartphone app to request a ride. See the driver's location and pay, which is a major advantage over traditional street hailing or calling a dispatch service. Taxi! Taxi, taxi, taxi! That's true. We lived in a small town, so we had to call our taxi in advance. That was the only thing. If you're living in a bigger city, back then when taxis were taxiing, all you had to do was just stand out and say taxi. That was it. Or do that whistling thing. No, they are not. Anybody got time for that? Service availability. Uber and Lyft have expanded to cover a much wider geographic area than traditional taxis. Making them a more accessible option in many places. Decline in traditional taxis. The rise of Uber and Lyft has significantly reduced the presence of traditional taxis in many areas. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The presence of traditional taxis in many areas, especially in places where there used to be a common in sight. So for those of you who live in New York, I'm not sure if she's still here or not. She said right now it's chilly in New York. Have you noticed a transition or decline in yellow checker taxi cabs now? And are the streets filling with neon signs and neon Lyft signs, neon Uber service signs on vehicles, or the magnetic signs on top of the vehicle, or the magnetic strips on the side of the vehicles that just say some type of rideshare service? Aren't the streets filled with the glorious traditional black and yellow taxi cabs from the days of old, from far, far away in the distant land? That's in the past now. That's so weird, man. That's in the past. Something from my time is officially in the past. Spot the difference. 1994, 2025. Oh, I see lots of differences, and I'm starting to cry. Ooh, I weep. Not really. Key differences between Uber and Lyft and taxis, guys. Once again, good morning to you, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming here, having your snacks, probably Cheez-Its. I've got Cheez-Its! I've got Cheez-Its! Sit down! Thank you for coming in. Key differences between Uber, Lyft, and taxis. Uber, Lyft, and taxis. Uber, Lyft, and taxis. Uber, Lyft, and taxis. Service model. Uber and Lyft are rideshare companies, while taxis are licensed regulated services that operate under different rules. What? Tell me something I can use, okay? Uber and Lyft are rideshare companies, okay, while taxis are licensed regulated services that operate under different rules. Driver status. Uber and Lyft drivers are independent contractors. Yo, I thought regular standard size taxi cabs people were independent. Based on how I heard my uncle, who used to be a taxi cab driver, I don't know if he is to this day, the way I caught him hooping and lightly hollering about having to meet a demand or a quota, it still sounds like everything rests on him. And you know, my taxi cab car, I hope they ain't dirty up my taxi cab car. So it just seemed like all of the brunt rested on him. So Uber and Lyft drivers are independent contractors, while taxi drivers are often employees or operate under specific licensees agreements. Pricing. Uber and Lyft use dynamic pricing. All right, dynamic pricing, meaning fares fluctuate based on demand. Surge pricing gets people every time, whereas taxis often have a standard meter-based fare. Regulations and safety. Taxi drivers often undergo more comprehensive background checks compared to rideshare drivers, although both companies are subjective to regulations. I do miss seeing the meter taxi cabs, watching the meter. Wasn't it a flex, you know, in the movies back then? You know, it would be like set in, like, just say New York City, Law and Order, CSI types of TV shows, where all the coats and the blue suede shoes and the penny loafing wearing briefcase toting people, the lawyers worked. And it will be a flex. They'll be like, can you pull over for me? And he'll throw him a 10 or a 20. He's like, and keep the meter running. I'm like, oh, that's so dope. And the taxi cab driver like, sure will. And he'll stay. Man, I miss that. I miss that so much, because it's like, since history have changed, so has the dialogue and movie scripts and those subtle things. It's the subtle changes. So when you're reading the book from the past, that sounds so crazy. Because when I'm saying past, I'm referring to my past, like late 80s, early 90s past. And so when you're talking about reading books from the past and it's comprised in a lawyer-based theme, like you know, like The Firm, for example, The Firm book. It's basically a lawyer type book, big city, cha-cha-cha. They'll have something in there, keep the meter running. But nowadays, modern times, they'll talk about, you know, they took a rideshare service, and how would they write the story? I wanted the Lyft driver to stay, but he couldn't because he already had another pickup en route, so the Uber couldn't stay. That's how it would read. You know, it's just not going to say those cool words anymore. The dialogue for modern day time is like, I had to text the Lyft or Uber driver to see if he or she could want an extra job. I'll give you an extra $50 if you stay while I go make another run off the record. That's too much, man. That's just too much talking. That's just too much talking. Look, I need you to keep the meter running. Here's a 50. Be here when I come back. Cut and dry. I miss that. I'm not going to talk to the people like that, but you know what I'm saying. It's just, I don't have time to be texting, talking about, so can you stay an extra 15 minutes? Oh, please, can you? It's too much. For me, it's too much. It's entirely too much. If y'all know another way around it, because I am going to be like, I need a one and done. Just drop me off in the plaza where I have everything in one spot so I can stay here and shop the plaza, get some lunch, get my groceries, take my time, and I feel compelled to be like, oh no, the Lyft driver getting ready, leaving 5, 4, 3, no! Another Lyft driver will be en route in 13 days, 5 hours. Help me! So now I'm trying to text the person, can you stay? I'm in line checking out my groceries. No, I can't stay. Please, can you stay? I give you $10. No, $15. No, $50. Okay, I'll stay 10 more minutes. So I'm like, okay, you go stay 10 more minutes. So that means I have to take some of these items out of the shopping cart to supplement to keep this Lyft driver here. Can you take this off the list? Just take all that off. Okay, I'll just get what I have. Whatever don't get had, don't get had. I'm just bringing home. Mama's only bringing home half the groceries today. Half the groceries. And whatever I bring home is what we gonna make today. Because I got to catch my Lyft before he leaves because he don't want to wait. It's too much work. I just walk. Give me one of those bikes, those tricycles for the adults that they have, a basket in the front and the basket back, 2 big old wheels in the back, a big cushy seat and a basket in the front, and I'll just ride my bike where I had to go so I don't have to feel the pressures of waiting around for a lift, hoping I don't get a creep. If I get a creep, cancel the ride, half my money gone. I'm waiting around, folks looking stupid. Hey, baby, you need a ride? I'll be your Lyft boo. Get the stepping. I don't want to have to be like this, but this is the way the world is making me. I said get back. I just wait for my ride. Yo, I think we need to have yellow taxis come back. We need to have yellow taxi cabs come back because that's too much. One taxi driver in my hometown is so friendly. He always asks if I want to get yeah. Get out of that taxi, quick. Get out of that taxi. Push that shopping trolley all the way home. Quick, fast, in a hurry. High five to that. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's the pressure of it all for me. It's the pressure for me. I don't like it. Just Phil Collins, take me home. Just take me home. I'll figure it out on my own. You mean to tell me I got to figure out how I'm going to get there? You're not going to wait for me, and I got to figure out how I'm going to get back. It's not the figuring out it's not the figuring out of how I'm going to get back when I'm using these rideshare services. It's the how long must I wait? The sun is starting to set. I'm on the side of town where they sell cheap food at a nice price, but the sun is starting to set, and I'm starting to hear wolves in the distance. And the mom and pop shop starting to close up the shop. The sun not shining sunny and yellow and bright anymore. It's starting to look a little gray. It's starting to look a little Twilight-esque. Shout out to Edward Cullen, Bella Swan, and all them from Twilight. No offense to y'all, but that's what it's starting to look like. I'm standing around with my groceries Uber's still not coming. They keep canceling. You see the Uber en route, then it just stopped. You like, I know it's not a traffic light right there. I think they must get a memo like, you are now entering an area of the part of town where you don't want to be when the sun goes down because the wolves and the vampires come out and you might get robbed. That's why I need you to pick me up before it happened. Please pick me up. They're like, can you meet me 15 minutes out? I cannot meet you 15 minutes out so you can pick me up. Wait a minute. How much will the discount be if I walk 15 minutes out of the danger zone into a safe zone so you can pick me up? The ride would be $10. Well, $10 is better than $25. Okay, so now I'm booking it out of the danger zone, out of the area where you might get robbed, that area, into a safer zone. I wait for my ride, and my ride is there, and it's a ride share, y'all. So the car is full of people. I'm like, you picking me up from the grocery store, right? I hope the trunk has enough space for me to put my things. I open the trunk. She like, yeah, it's room back there. I'm like, I don't know. I don't believe her because the way she said it sounded like it was saying, there's some room back there. I'm like, it's 25 people in the car already. This is not gonna work. So what do? Cancel the ride. I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere. Behind me, the sun is setting. The wolves are hollering. It's looking like Michael Jackson Thriller. Dun, dun, dun. The vampires coming out. The party goers are coming out. You can hear them. Yeah, like in the Warriors, chain, come out to play. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, the party people are coming out. The people who like to come out at night. Those people, the wild people are coming out. Oh my gosh, they're coming out. I want to be out here. I guess it's all about how you plan your Uber and Lyft. But to me, it's a whole lot of thought processes that goes into it. And I don't want to use all my brain cells to do it. It's just too much thinking involved. I think I would feel comfortable just getting a ride there and me walking back. Because at least I know I'm on my time. I go in, I'm good and ready. I know what I'm up against. And I don't have to worry about waiting. Because as long as it takes me to wait for Uber or Lyft to come pick me up from an area that they deem safe, I could have been halfway home by foot. So push that shopping trolley all the way home. Yup. I agree. Hercules flying by and his Maserati to the club yelling, yo, LA, exactly. That is it, because he's going out in the nightlife to dance and party and eat good food, and I'm trying to go the other way. I'm not trying to do all that. He'll be like, hey, LA, I'll bring you some wings afterwards. I'm like, just bring them tomorrow morning. Please, just go about your way. That is funny. Let me find some race cars in here. CAR, car. Let me put some cars in the chat for that. That's so Hercules right there. But yeah, it's the thing, it's the waiting to get back that I don't like. I don't like it at all. I know you have to be patient, but that with any service, I just don't like the waiting to have to get picked up. I'll just take my bike or walk. Key differences between Uber and Lyft. We read that part. The future of transportation. Hybrid model. The future will likely involve a mix of traditional taxis and rideshare services. Some taxi services are even partnering with apps like Lyft to dispatch taxis to riders, reducing wait times. See? I didn't even read this, or nor did I glance over it. It says that. So the future likely involve a mixture of traditional taxis and rideshare services. Rideshare services are even partnering with apps like Lyft to dispatch taxis to riders, reducing wait times. Driverless taxis. Now, I'm not going that far. I like technology and I like the future. I like the time that I'm in. I don't want to be I'm not the type of girl who lives in the past wishing to stay there. No, I like the time I was from, but I would not go back to that time. I like now. So, drivers and taxis, Ubers and Lyft, so my, are investing in driverless technology and partnerships with companies like Waymo. I've heard so many unfortunate tales about Waymo. It's like, oh my, are leading to deployment of autonomous vehicles in select cities. These robo-taxis will eventually be integrated into apps. I don't want to be in a robo-taxi. I'll take a human. But public trust and regulatory hurdles mean this will be a gradual process. Have I seen a driverless taxi cab yet? No, but according to the news, they have been released into the city. What's going on, Chile? Thank you so much. Thank you. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when you're living your dream. I was thinking about the Lego movie yesterday, so I'm gonna have to actually look forward to play it in rotation. La 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 la. Shomo, Shomo. That is so fun. Do, 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 do. Stick to the subject, LA. So we have. Oh, there's more information. Wow, how did this happen? My computer is alive. Thank you, AI. AI is jumping in helping because I don't remember pushing anything, but I like this information. It's got while Uber and Lyft have this. Thank you, AI, for this prompt. While Uber and Lyft have disrupted the taxi industry and are often used as a direct replacement, they are not simply the new taxi. The services differ significantly in business model, regulation, and customers' experience. That's for sure. Rideshare companies force the taxi industry to adapt, and in many places, the two systems now coexist, which they do. It makes driving around look cool because there's sprinkles of colors of different types of rideshare services. We have the independent ones, like the mom and pop rideshare services, the traditional old school black and yellow taxi services, Ubers and Lyfts, and so on. Shaxi. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaquille O'Neal dabbles his hand into taxi cabs because he's got his hands in a lot of stuff. I would not be surprised, especially since he's partnered with the insurance people. The core similarities. Y'all, here we go. Uber, Lyft, and taxis all provide on demand for hire transportation for passengers. I do like how they said that's on demand. It is true. It is on demand. All are widely used in urban areas to get people from point A to point B, though ride sharing has seen greater growth in recent years. It even provided for me a chart, guys. It's got key differences between ride sharing and taxis. You guys, I am really feeling this modern day technology. It's really cool. They have Uber and Lyft ride sharing versus traditional taxis. It's got far as the business model, Uber and Lyft, tech companies that use an app to connect riders with independent contractors driving their personal vehicles versus the traditional taxi, regulated transportation companies that employ professional drivers in company-owned or leased vehicles. So for traditional taxis, it's not necessarily their car. They are using a loaner car from the taxi service to use to drive and bus people around. With Uber and Lyft, you can actually use your vehicle to do that. So I do get that more fully. I get that now. But I wonder, because the Ubers and Lyfts now, they have it so you can actually, if you want, get a car from them, right? You can Uber. Thanks guys for the floaties I've been seeing. Thank you so much for those. Uber and Lyft have this thing, so if you don't want to use your car, you can go through their service and use theirs. So to me, it's kind of the same thing. So I'm seeing how Uber and these ride-sharing services are gobbling up the whole taxi cab life of it all. I want to put this in here. This is, let me see if it will let me copy and paste everything in here. Pin, P-I-N, pin that in there. I want to use this one. Copy and paste. Yup. Here's that one. This information, this is about the ride share. About ride sharing cars. And then the next one will be about traditional taxis. So this is for traditional taxis right here. Traditional taxis. Ba, ba, ba. Y'all, it feels like I'm at school. In a good way. It feels exactly like I'm at school teaching an online class. And this is regulated transportation. So we've got regulated transportation companies that employ professional drivers and company-owned or leased vehicles. To me, that's a 2-in-1, and I see where the new rideshare is eating up the traditional taxis. But I think with modern days technology and the evolution of thinking, basically, of how people view the world, the traditional taxi has nothing to fear. You're not supposed to fear anything. You have nothing to fret if you still like the traditional taxis, because basically rideshare got the idea from the taxis. Taxis aren't doing anything different. They're pretty much doing the same thing. It's just the adaptation to moving over to an app. So you don't necessarily have to call in on the telephone or say taxi when you're out and about. To me, that's the only differences between the two. They have, for ride sharing, far as regulation, historically less regulated than taxis. Though oversight has increased over time, regulations can vary significantly by city. What they mean by regulation, I'm not too sure, as far as apparently what you can and cannot do when you're driving the rideshare vehicle. For traditional taxis, as far as regulation, heavily regulated by local and state government. What? I didn't know that. Which set fare rates, inspect vehicles, and issues license. Excuse me, or medallions. I remember hearing that word before. The pricing, often cheaper than taxis. Do you think rideshare services are cheaper than taxis? It says here, often cheaper than taxis, but use dynamic or surge pricing that raises fare during times of high demand. The price is typically set up front. Fees are regulated and predictable, determined by a meter based on time and distance. They do not surge, and that's in reference to taxis. To me, it sounds the same, because if you get stuck at a long traffic light, or if you run into a traffic jam, there goes your involuntary surge and flux. You're like, man, when is this traffic gonna go? It's a detour? Man, you're gonna have to let me off right here. I don't have enough money to cover all this. I wasn't planning to run and do a detour. I need you to please stop the ride. I gotta get out and go. It makes me think of another movie. It was similar to that scenario I just said. I'm not sure if it was with Samuel Jackson being in it, where he was in the rush. The traffic was just inching on because there was some construction. I think there was a guy working in the manhole, you know, in the sewer. They set up something, and he was like, I got to go. I really have to get out of here. So he just tossed him the money and got out and he just ran the rest of the way because there was no way in the world he was gonna get there on time because of the detour. The detour was the traffic was so delayed. He was better off just running to his destination the rest of the way. Let me adjust how I'm sitting. Let me move my things over. We got our one and only Uber driver about 10 months ago in my town. He likes to drive people to the woods. Stop it. Michael Myers. That's funny. That's not supposed to be funny, but it's funny. In the land of imagination. In the land of imagination. That is funny. Let me find an emoji for that. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. How are you doing today? I am doing good. I'm feeling good, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you? That is funny. So this is cool. I'm learning. I want to learn so much more about this. My mind is turning while I'm reading like this chart that AI overview provided. There's so much more I want to learn in reference to Uber, ride sharing, and versus traditional taxis. I had a question that keeps repeating in my mind. What is it here that I want to ask in reference to traditional taxis? You know what? I'm going to segue. LA segueing. She's segueing. LA, you're segueing. Stick to the topic. For your information, I am sticking to the topic, but I want to know something. What are the steps required? My own and thank you. So, what are the steps required to start your own rideshare service? I believe I'll get a lot of my questions answered by asking this question. I'm curious. To start a rideshare service, you must first create a comprehensive business plan, including market research and your unique value proposition. Then handle legal and financial tasks like registering your business and securing permits. Build your technology platform, which is an app, with essential features like GPS tracking and payments, and recruit and onboard drivers. Finally, launch marketing campaigns to acquire customers and optimize operations for growth. Define your niche. Consider what makes your service unique, such as focusing on a specific geographical area, luxury rides, eco-friendly options, or corporate solutions. Oh, luxury rides. That sounds like too much pressure. I'd rather pick up regular people who don't mind burping and laughing and living a little. Handle legal and financial setup. Register your businesses. Register your company potentially as an LLC and file the necessary formation documents with your state. Obtain necessary permits and licenses. Research and comply with all local, state, and federal regulations. This includes registering as a Transportation Network Company, TNC, with your state's public utility commissions. Secure funding. Determine your startup costs and blah, blah, blah. Recruit and onboard drivers. You don't necessarily have to recruit and onboard drivers. You can just be a business of entrepreneur of one. So that cuts out a lot. Launch and grow. Develop a marketing strategy. Build brand awareness through social media, local advertising, and promotions. That's a lot of wordage on how to start your own taxi cab service, isn't it? It don't really sound all that difficult. It's just a lot of steps and making sure you go in order so you don't miss anything. I'm looking that up because as many service taxi cab services I've been seeing springing up around here, it has to be fairly easy. And in fact, more easy and less difficult than what the verbiage is saying on here. That's what prompted me to want to look it up. It's got to be rather easy because I've been seeing some rather unique rideshare vehicles where they'll even take it another step to like shrink wrap their cars in different designs so they can stand out. And it's really cool. I don't think it's as hard as AI vertical or AI mode is saying, but I believe there's a great possibility that it can be done and it's easy. Conduct market research. Examine the rideshare market in your target area to identify competitors. I don't have time to identify competitors. It's like I know what I want to do and this is that. I'm gonna be putting blinders on. I'm not going around if I'm getting into something like I'm a social media person. So I'm not gonna sit around and start comparing competitors. It's like I know this is what I want to do. I want to have this, and this. I'm not looking around. It's just going to slow me down. So examine your niche, differentiate your services by focusing on specific needs such as, luxury rides, eco-friendly, or rides of specific demographics. Create a business plan, outline your goals, strategies for revenue generation. This sounds really fun, guys. So I'm saying all this to say, for those of you who want to go your own way and work on your own, consider being a taxi cab driver, but not the traditional ones, but the modern day ones. It really seems possible, and I'm quite sure there's an easier way to get all this done. But nonetheless, it seems really fun if you don't want to work for like Lyft or Uber, but you still enjoy driving people around. This actually seems like a really fun job because you get to help people and you know what you would expect out of a rideshare service. So, based out of your natural core beliefs, you are already set up for success because you want to treat them right. You want your vehicle to be clean as possible. You want to take care of your vehicle. You want to guarantee they have a good time there. And you can also flex and say, I can't wait for you. That's a personal perk. So you can tailor it to the person depending on how much time you have. So I think that's a great way to go, being some type of transporter, driving people around to point A to point B. What's going on, Jay? Welcome in. So it's a lot of possibilities in reference to ride sharing. You can do it on your own. And it's so many things wrapped up into there where it will keep you motivated. It'll keep you on the schedule where you'll be on time. You get to engage and talk with people. You get to build trust. And if they like you, they'll just call back and be like, hey, you pick me up here, here, and here, on these days. You get a rapport. And once again, you're working at your own pace, your own time. And what makes it so special, like I said, because for me, I would want to be one of those people who would want to take that type of rideshare service. I like the comfort in knowing if I'm going out to grocery shop, I don't have to worry about in the back of my mind, I don't want to take too long because I don't know how long it's going to take for an Uber to come pick me up. I hope I don't get a jerk. I don't want to get someone and they're on their way and I see the picture and I get bad vibes through the phone. So I don't want him or her knowing where I live. So I have to say, drop me off 2 miles away from where I actually live and then walk to my house. It's stuff like that where I want to have more control over. So this is a great place for people to, and I see why here they're seeing the need and feeling the need, because I can assure you that these rideshare services are popping up for those types of reasons, to be more accommodating to their client. So that's really cool thing. So yeah, I don't think it'd be that difficult as depicted on here, but I believe that's something that many people could participate in and perhaps look into. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm going to put some celebrations. Like, let me find something to express that. I'm really happy finding about the rideshare service. I'm really happy. I'm really happy about the opportunities that we have far as working independently. INDEPEN. I know that's spelled wrong. Let me correct it. You know what? My spell check is not on. I spell independently wrong, and my spell check isn't working. Send. So the glory and the beauty of this taxi cabs we have is Lyft and Uber the new taxi cab? I think so. It's just a more advanced one. And if you want to stick to your traditional Uber and taxi cabs, you can. It's just a little bit of evolution. You may not even want to have an app. You don't necessarily have to be a taxi cab driver and have an app. It can be simply word of mouth. So many people need rides, y'all. It can be easily done. And this is about the vibe you put out there. If you have good energy, people are more likely to take a ride from you. And you can just build from there. It only takes one person, y'all. And you just stick with him or her and be like, here, I'm here if you need another lift. I'm free this time and this time, like I may go to school on Mondays and Tuesdays, but when I'm out, I'm available for these times, but all these other days, if you need a ride, just give me a ring or send me a text and I can drop you off. And then that person will definitely, based on how your service is and your dependability, and you make them feel comfortable, you best believe they're going to tell their friends about it. And all you need is a handful of people, y'all, to keep going. You don't need thousands of people to get a business going. All you need is a steady few. And then you can just build on that and have a nice life. This is very good and exciting. I'm happy about where the world is trending to far as the evolution of jobs. We're not necessarily losing jobs. We just have to figure out a way to repurpose them in a new way. There's a lot of things I like from the 80s. However, I'm looking for a modern look from that time, if that makes any sense. I like the 80s hairstyles. However, I'm making them more modern to today. And the reason I'm making them more modern to today is because we have better hair techniques and hairstyles to actually make it look more amplified and look better, basically, so your hair don't be dried all out and all that stuff. So it's really cool. It's an improvement. We have evolving landscape. Once again, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for coming in to Morning Moo. It's Taco Tuesday. Meow, meow, meow. Happy Taco Tuesday and happy work day for y'all. The time for me currently is a glorious 6:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm reading now the evolving landscape in reference to Uber and Lyft versus the taxi. It has, rather than being completely replaced, the taxi industry has been forced to evolve in response to competition from rideshare companies. That's what it is. We're at the time now, like what it says, forced to evolve. You don't have to evolve with the times changing. But if you want to stay current, you're going to have to find a way. This is life giving us a nudge. We have plenty of time to get things together. We can see cracks in the glass where things are starting to change. But usually it's a controlled crack. But the thing is, the majority of people wait till the crack to break and then they want to start panicking. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I didn't see it coming. You saw it coming. The crack is right in your windshield every day, each and every day. So you had to start making plans to figure out what you can do to expand. You know, so taxis got modern. Many taxi companies have developed their own apps with features like GPS tracking and in-app payment to compete with rideshare services. A mixed market. In some cities, taxis have partnered with companies like Uber to list their vehicles on the Uber app, giving customers more options. Now, to me, that sounds like the golden loophole that I was referring to, where it's got to be a lot more easier to start your own taxi cab service, and that might be it. Start your service and partner with one of these service people to put your vehicle in the roster to be chosen. So once again, the mixed market in some cities, taxis have partnered with companies like Uber to list their vehicles on the Uber app, giving customers more options. The next disruption, the rise of autonomous robo-taxis. Please fret not. Even though we have robo-taxis driving people around blindly, please rest assured that the majority of us are going to prefer having a human drive us. No different from when we are calling to pay a bill on the telephone. They'll say agent. You know how many times we have to yell and scream into the phone, agent, agent. It's like to me the artificial intelligence like to pretend they don't hear us saying agent just so they can laugh with their AI friends and say, watch this, I'm gonna make this human upset. Would you like to speak to an agent or continue talking to me? Say agent. Agent. What was that? Agent. I didn't hear you. Agent. What was that? Agent! Let me talk to an agent. And AI is laughing at us with his buddies. That's how that works. That's how that works. But even so, in the whole mundane monotony of paying bills on the telephone, who likes paying bills? But you still want to talk to a human in reference to paying bills. So this is the same thing with these autonomous robo taxis. I'm not getting in one. I love me. I want to live. So it's the same thing. So I don't think we have anything to worry about with that. And just how we really enjoy being able to talk to an actual human on the phone when we're paying our bills, it's the same comfort in that. So this was a really cool chart that AI Overview propped up here, which led me to wondering is exactly how easy is it to start your own rideshare service? It's not that difficult. It can be done. Let me see what else I have. Is Uber and Lyft the new taxi? I want to know more. Here's first safety versus rideshare safety versus a regular taxi. What did it say? Safety. Apps provide features like driver information and a paper trail of the trip. Background checks are conducted, though they may not be as thorough as the taxi cab companies. And this is the taxi cab companies. Strict regulations and fingerprint-based background checks for drivers, wow, are common. Some vehicles have in-car cameras and radios, but you can do that on your own in the Lyft and ride in the traditional rideshare service. Now you can install cameras now. I've seen some Lyfts before I got in. It'll have like one of those the stickers on the window. Your rideshare is being recorded. Cameras in the car, and I don't blame them because you just don't know. The thing is, if I'm getting a ride, I don't know who I'm going to get. And even though I may be pressed for time and I see the picture of the driver and I get a bad vibe through the phone, I'm going to cancel the ride. Just think about the driver involved. They don't know who they're going to get. They literally do not know who they're going to get, to my knowledge. They just show up, get in the car, and they get in the car. And it's from there. It's like they have to use their spider senses to be like, I don't know if this is going to be a good ride. I don't feel right about this. Then you have to decide what you want to do. It's a lot that goes into play on both sides. So my head goes off to rideshare drivers in general because every day is something new. I'm quite sure every day it is a surprise. You don't know who you're going to get, and if someone's got a short temper. Ooh, taxi cab. A taxi or taxi cab is a licensed vehicle for hire with the driver, used by a single customer or small group for a non-scheduled ride. While once the while once the primary option for on-demand transportation, taxi services now exist alongside ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft. Taxi! Hail from the street. How to get a taxi, y'all. This is cute. Step one, hail from the street. In many cities, you can raise your hand and signal and stop a vacant taxi on the street. Taxi! Use a taxi app like Uber and Curb. What? Apps like Uber and Curb can dispatch a taxi for you. Some apps may even let you book a ride in advance. Phone a local company. You can call a taxi company's dispatch service to book a ride for immediate pickup for a specific time. Wait at a taxi stand. Wow, taxi stands. Are there still taxi stands around? Or I think I've seen now. I have not seen taxi stands in a long time. But when I grew up in a small town, we didn't have those. But I was familiar with a taxi stand based on watching TV. So I believe I've seen Lyft stands. Just a silver pole with the Lyft sign there. So those are cool. I really think more those should be implemented because it would be safer for the driver and for the person who's getting picked up. So that's a good question. Will there be, I like this. Let me see here. Will there be more ride stand signs in Alta? Let me see if I worded that correctly. What did I just read? I like this here. Where is it? Let me close that. It says here, oh yeah, dedicated taxi stands. That's it. Where there'll be more ride share the future. There. Waiting. So will there be more dedicated rideshare stands available in the future? I think they should do that because when you're driving to pick someone up and you cannot find them, I don't have time to play cat and mouse and look for you. You're supposed to be where you're supposed to be, dang it. And if you're not, I'm outie 5,000. Like Princess Bubblegum said at Adventure Time. So if you have a stand, it would be better. So I asked, will there be more dedicated rideshare stands available in the future? Thank you, AI Overview. It says yes, more dedicated rideshare stands are expected to become available in the near future. This is driven by both rideshare companies and city planners aiming to improve efficiency, reduce traffic congestion, and increase safety in crowded areas, like airports, entertainment districts, and large venues. It's like, where are you? I'm over here. I mean, It's millions of people over here where you are. I need you to do something distinctively different so I can know who you are. Key factors driving the expansion of rideshare zones, urban planning and city regulations, reduce traffic congestion. Many cities are designating curbside zones specifically for rideshare services during peak hours. That's really nice. So what are they going to do? Like paint the sidewalks? By providing a dedicated area for pickups and drop-offs, vehicles no longer block traffic lanes or circle a block waiting for a rider. Oh, let me go over here and check something out really quickly. It's so much more to learn on here, but I want to not expand my mind too much on this thought process and get lost in the sauce of it all. But this is really fun, and I know this is helping someone spark their imagination or interest in perhaps starting their own, taxi service. Urban planning and city regulations, improve safety. Exactly. I need them to do this because it's the safety for both the driver and the passenger. Dedicated, well-lit rideshare hubs can enhance public safety, especially in nightlife districts. Example, like I was giving you that story when I'm getting groceries and it's starting to get a little late in the night, and the nightlife people, the party goers, are starting to come out, and you're getting a little nervous because there's not a place for you to wait. You're just standing out there basically looking like, how can they separate if you're out there standing around being thirsty or trying to, how can you separate yourself from the nightlife if it's late and you're just on your way trying to mind your business getting the ride from Lyft? There's no safety mechanisms in place to protect you from the foolery of it all, and you're just trying to simply mind your business and wait for your Lyft to come. That's what makes me weary in reference to that. I'm beautiful. So if I'm standing out there getting a ride, I don't want to be out there too long waiting for a ride, because to me it's an open invitation for people to come. And I don't really want to deal with that. So it's just a lot to think about. So I really would like them to speed up the process of having the those signs out there, a designated place where we could stand that signifies, I'm waiting for my ride share, get the F away from me. So we have improved safety. Dedicated, well-lit rideshare hubs can enhance public safety, especially in nightlife districts. For example, the city of El Paso approved a pilot rideshare hub with cameras and extra big lighting to increase safety in an entertainment area. That is amazing. Better curb management. Municipalities are experimenting with smart zones to manage curb space more efficiently, and these zones can be used for rideshare, commercial deliveries, or parking at different times of the day. Let's see here. Rideshare company strategies. Faster and more efficient pickups. Okay. Yeah, it feels like I'm at the movies. And I'm filling my head with all this wonderful information. Information. Faster and more efficient pickups. Rideshare companies like Uber use geofencing to direct both drivers and riders to a precise designated location at busy venues. This eliminates the confusion of pinpointing a pickup exactly location in a crowded area and reduces wait times. Exactly, based on experience, like if you're in a crowded area and the driver is looking for you, it's going to be hard for him or her to find you in a crowded area. So you have to separate yourself. And my question is, there's safety in numbers, yes, but when it comes to your ride being on its way, you have to unfortunately separate yourself from the numbers. And how much do you have to how far Do you have to separate yourself from the strength and numbers of it all just so your Uber or Lyft can identify you? So in these factors, I like to have weird things in my hands, intentionally or on purpose. Let's say, for example, I'm going out and I'm getting the Uber because if I'm going, telling on myself, if I'm going out to do some surprise birthday shopping, I need to catch an Uber or a Lyft, right? So in order to go get the gifts or the birthday cakes, let's say, I want to wear something intentionally distinctive so my right person can find me. If you don't want to wear something too standoffish, like a bright colored shirt, have an umbrella with you, even if it's, especially when it's not raining, because what will differentiate you from all the people if you're in a big place is like, look for a red umbrella, look for a blue umbrella, because then amongst the crowd there's someone who looks like an idiot at the time, but you're holding an umbrella. So it's little things like that to help alleviate the stress and anxiety of it all, so that it can help the driver find you and you can just be on your way a lot faster, because I'm quite sure you're not the only person who's standing around waiting for an Uber or a Lyft. And there's a lot of cars who could be the same color. It could be like a gray car, and just your luck, gray cars start flooding in, and it's like, oh my gosh, which one is mine? It's too many gray cars coming in at the exact same time. My Lyft is coming in, and I waited for mine. So you'll be like, look for the girl with the umbrella. Bam! Oh, I see you. Yes, that's me. Get me out of here. Ooh. It's too many people. It's too many people. It's too many people. So here it says, rideshare company strategy. Faster and more efficient pickups. Rideshare companies like, oops, not like oops. Rideshare companies like Uber use geofencing to direct both drivers and riders to a precise designated location at busy venues. This eliminates the confusion of pinpointing a pickup location in a crowded area and reduces wait times. Autonomous. Is that autonomous? Vehicle integration. The rollout of autonomous vehicles. The rollout of autonomous hippopotamus autonomous vehicles, AVs, will accelerate the need. Let me scooch over. Will accelerate the need for dedicated pickup zones. Rideshare services are already launching AV pilot programs that rely on these zones for smoother operations. Where's my towel from my face? It's a little shiny. My face is a little shiny. And now for airport coordination. Airports are among the most common places to find dedicated rideshare stands, often involving a walk to a specific pickup lot. That is really nice. We really have to get that going because it'll make life a lot better. Wear a cow onesie when calling an Uber. Tell me about it. Something noticeably and distinctive so I can assure that my driver will find me and we can be on our way. Because I'm quite sure it goes both ways. I have my anxieties in reference to my share far as the wait, how long I'm going to have to wait and who in the world is going to pick me up. And while I'm waiting, I'm checking out the environment where I'm at and making sure I'm separate, keeping myself separated from people who look like I just leave me alone, So I'm quite sure it's the same way. They're like, oh, I'm picking up these people from a movie theater. It's nighttime and there's hundreds of people out here standing around. How in the world am I going to find him or her All you can say is, all the app can say is your driver has arrived, and take it from there. It's a lot, y'all, to me. So hey, I hear you on that. And put, hey, I hear you on that. Airports are among the most common places to find dedicated rideshare stands, often involving a walk to a specific pickup lot. The app helps coordinate this by only matching a rider with the driver once the rider has arrived at the designated area. Bingo! That needs to be implemented more to the masses of people. Not everybody is jumping in and out of airplanes. I'm talking about the regular people, who just want to go, what did they say? From point A to point B. The point A to point B'ers. I really like that. I really believe it would take the anxiety down, at least for me, if they implemented that more. Now, when I'm riding on the public transportation, y'all, because I do like stuff like that. It's just the pros and the cons. When riding on the public transportation, like the bus, I like it because with the bus they actually have the signs that says, public transportation, city bus. I'm just saying something. MARTA, for us is MARTA. So they have the signs sticking out everywhere. So it's amazing with just a little simple sign that stands somewhere in the ground. It gives me a sense of comfort because let's say I'm somewhere fancy, okay? And of course I stick out like a sore thumb because I'm black. Okay, yeah, here we go. But I'm just saying from my lens, if I'm somewhere fancy and I want to go pick up an order or something and I'm just standing around, I'm going to feel unsafe because it's going to appear like I'm standing around loitering, and it's going to make me feel really uncomfortable and uneasy. But if I'm standing in that fancy schmancy place outside and there's the bus stop sign in near proxy, I feel completely safe because it provides a reason why I'm standing out here in the first place. And it also allows the people who are coming in wondering, why is that black girl just standing around there? I don't know. She's making me uncomfortable. It assures them like, oh, there's a bus. She's waiting for the bus. So it helps both parties involved who see me a place of comfort and security. So I think we should have more of that in reference to the ride share because it helps both people involved to help folks identify so they can get on through their day. Because that's how it is here in the day in the life of me. So I really like how the public transportation has things like that in place. It gives me a sense of comfort. So it don't look like I'm just standing idly, thusly drawing unwanted attention. Optimized communication rideshare apps now provide streamlined communication to guide riders to a specific pickup point with features like in-app maps, preset messages, and glowing spotlights on their phone screens. Cool. Wait a second. So, okay. Okay. I like that. Okay, Lyft. Real-world examples of rideshare hubs. In Dallas, Texas, the Deep Ellum Foundation launched a pilot program which dedicates rideshare pickup and drop-off zones to improve traffic flow and pedestrian safety in the busy nightlife district. There we go. That's exactly how I opened up with the story. Because in the nightlife, to me, the nightlife district shares the same area with the daytime people. So if I like to go downtown all the time because it's nice, the daytime people, we share the same area as the nightlife. But what separates the time of when the people who don't want to party is how the sun sets. So yeah, that's really cool. What's going on, Black Lives Matter? Welcome for coming in for the entertainment. So I really like that. We share the same area. but we just like to share that set area at different times. So I'm hoping that they have this and start implementing this in all the states, because it would be just it would be so much better. Good morning to you, Black Lives Matter. So Dallas, Texas, the Deep Ilium Foundation launched a pilot program which with dedicated rideshare pickup and drop-off zones to improve traffic flow and pedestrian safety in the busy nightlife district. In Des Moines, Iowa, a new rideshare hub was established in the downtown Coors Court Avenue Entertainment District, active during weekends and late night hours. This is really cool. It's the safety for me. That's all. I really like that. In Raleigh, North Carolina, city planners created designated pickup zones in downtown to streamline rideshare pickups and reduce accidents caused by stopped vehicles. Exactly. In El Paso, Texas, after a successful pilot near a popular entertainment district, the city plans to expand its rideshare hub program to other areas. Perfect. That's all we need. I want to see more. There's a deeper dive in AI mode in reference to this. So what I asked was, will there be more dedicated rideshare stands available in the future? Because I believe that will resolve a lot of the stuff that goes on as far as the driver not being able to accurately identify you and all of that stuff. And it just lowers the anxiety of waiting for your vehicle and how they're going to notice you amongst the crowd. So yes, it is very likely that more dedicated rideshare stands will become available in the future, particularly at high traffic locations like airports, stadiums, and urban hubs. The motivation for this expansion comes from the growing rideshare market and the need to manage the logistics of a high volume of vehicles and passengers. Reasons for more rideshare stands. I think they need to be implemented in schools too. Man, they need to be implemented in schools, because this is so cool, man. Everything's changing again. So even how they do parking lots. Remember how um when COVID hit, grocery stores and stores alike all started repurposing their parking lots and having curbside pickup implemented. So we're going to have to redo our parking lots again to implement an additional area for pickups for ride shares. Wouldn't that be perfect? So in the parking lots, not only are we going to have curbside pickup um, parking reservation areas, now we need to have at least 3 to 4 parking spots for rideshare pickup. So it'd be easily identified. That would help a lot. Reasons for more rideshare stands: growing shared mobility market. The demand for ride-sharing services is expected to rise. Totally. Driven by the increasing use of shared mobility and the shift away from personal vehicle ownership, dedicated stands streamline operations, making rideshare services more efficient for users and drivers alike. Yes, we're all in this together. Literally, we're all in this car together. Yuck, 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 yuck. Thank you so much for coming in. Musicians for stopping in at girl, that's the wrong thing. We have improved traffic flow. The current practice of rideshare drivers circling or stopping in traffic to pick up passengers create congestion and safety issues. Dedicated stands separate rideshare operations from regular traffic. Exactly. Leading to smoother traffic flow for everyone. If they're so ahead of the curve, allegedly, years and decades ahead, how are we still running into problems like this? If they have the sight beyond sight to foresee what's happening in the future, why not have this stuff set up already, so instead of it being a problem? If you know so much in the future about what's going on and what's trending, Why aren't you having these infrastructures already laid out? I roll. One, you lazy. Two, you don't care, and you don't want to spend the money. But you're sitting up on your high horse talking about, we know the future. We know how, where everything's trending. We're trending. We know the future. We're like 5-10 years ahead of everybody. Well, you're sure not acting like it, because it shows in the infrastructure. So you can brag all you want. It's one thing to know the future, and it's another thing to apply what you know about the future to make it better. I don't have time for stuff like that, because all of this stuff could have been resolved. This has been around long enough. It just don't make sense. Enhance user experience. Define pickup zones. Eliminate confusion and stress of finding a driver in a crowded area. Hello. Stands provide a clear, easy to find location for passengers, ensuring a more reliable and predictable experience. I am here for that all day. That's my pet peeve. Waiting around. It's not like I'm not impatient. It's just the things I have to deal with while waiting for the ride to come. Not all places I go to have a nice little waiting area. I have to physically come out so you can see me, so you can pick me up. Heaven forbid it just start raining that day. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Moving forward, public-private partnerships. Cities and rideshare companies are already collaborating to implement new mobility solutions, guys. This will likely involve investing in more permanent infrastructure, to which we desperately need, such as dedicated stands to improve urban transportation. This is really cool. I'm going to take a small break and give my voice a rest. And I will actually have some cereal that I'm munching on. So replay gang, you're going to hear a little music and you might not hear words. I'm munching on some snacks really quickly. Let me see something. Okay, let me look over here really quickly. Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. Liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Welcome to the morning moo. It is Taco Tuesday. Are you guys getting tacos today for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner? We can say that now because thankfully someone was wise enough to invent the breakfast taco. So now you can have tacos any day, any time of the, any day and any time of the day. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can have breakfast burrito, breakfast taco. Okay. Let me refresh the page and see where I'm at really quickly. The current time is 6:55 ET time over here. Let me refresh the page. Okay, let me minimize that. And I'm back. Thank you so much. It's one of my favorite, I'm talking over the music now. It's one of my favorite music beds I like to use by way of YouTube. I've been using it for years. It's hard to get away from it. It is Bird Brains by Otis McDonald. I'll type it in for you. There you go. So once again, this song is called Bird Brains by Otis McDonald. You can find this song for free in the YouTube studio. Or you can simply search engine. It is free to use. There you go. There's the information. Exactly. He's got a part 2 to this now. I have it somewhere stored in my phone. Not my phone. Somewhere stored in the cloud. It's nice. But I still go back to the first one. Excuse me. So I think it's the part 2 is simply called Bird Brains 2. And it's by Otis McDonald. But once again, my default is this one. I really like this one a lot. Thank you for asking. So yeah, I'm learning a lot with this whole Lyft and taxi whole situation. And I really feel that once they implement more signage, the whole rideshare service will be completely cemented. It will be absolutely perfect. I will listen to part 2 during second course. And then like in the Hobbits, you will listen to part 3 during second breakfast. And part 5 during dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then the snacks in between. Brunch, dunch, and a midnight snack. You have to eat around the clock. See, as a cow, you must graze. It's not about what you eat, it's about how much you eat. You can successfully eat throughout the whole day and enjoy food, but it's called grazing. A little bit at a time throughout the day. And you can successfully enjoy food all around the clock and not damage your body. Cows eat all the time, constantly. It's like nibbling and grazing. Get you a couple of sandwiches, cut those things in half, pick up a half sandwich, and eat that. A little time go by, you pick up the other half sandwich. Spacing it out is so fun. It's like little treats for yourself throughout the day. If you give your pets treats throughout the day, you deserve treats throughout the day too. Don't just limit yourself like I can only eat 3 times a day. Well, if you don't put some snacks in between, you do yourself a disservice. You've got to have snacks in between. So, according to AI Overview, in reference to will there be more dedicated share stands available in the future? Of course, the answer is yes. And right here, locations where stands will likely increase: airports, urban hubs, event venues. Airports, many airports already use the system of dedicated rideshare zones to manage passenger flow. The model is highly effective and will likely be adopted by more airports globally. It seems to me it will happen in airports already, because it's like they have more access to funds to allow stuff like this to happen, because airports are the heartbeat of states. So, of course, they're going to attend to them first. But when it comes to regular, smegular locations, they're hemming and hawing, taking all day to get it done, and still wondering why they're having all these issues, because the answer you have, the why you're not hopping to it, I shake my head. I can only assume strongly that is because it's about money. Urban hubs, highly dense areas like city centers, train stations, and shopping districts would benefit from dedicated stands to reduce congestion and organize passenger pickups. Hello. Event venues, sports stadiums, concert arenas, and convention centers attract large crowds, making organized, dedicated rideshare areas a necessity for managing event-related traffic. So, let me put this in here. Oop. And let me find some pictures on here. I have not stopped eating since 1975. I love it. I know that's right. I know that's right. Tell me all about it. That's how it was supposed to be. Never stop eating. Never stop eating. You must eat. You have to eat. Food is my life. All right, y'all. It's rare, but I had to go to the ladies' room, so all I can do is play you some music. It's better than silence. I'm gonna go run to the ladies' room. Run! Do not walk to that ladies' room. Walk! And I will be right back. I'll play the music until further notice. Ooh, the show's still going on. Netflix talk about, are you still watching? Who cares if I'm still watching or not? I pay for the description. Don't be stopping it. I'm here. I pay for the description. That's watching enough. Netflix be on one. Netflix is acting insecure. Are you still watching? I just pushed start. I'm still here. I cannot. I'm back, y'all. For those of you who have waited and I have my remote control, are you still watching? Yes, Netflix, dog. But I'm busy talking to my cool peeps. Talking with my cool peeps. So, what is it? Netflix must know that I'm not physically in the room with the TV. Because my time is occupied somewhere else. Let me adjust how I'm sitting. So I could be a bit more comfortable. Good mercy, LA. As you can see, it's a tight spot, but it's the most perfect spot for me to record. Breeze Toilet Music is brought to you by Elay TV. Oh my gosh. Y'all, it is, what time is it? It is 7:07. Wow, 7:07 a.m. over here. And I'm thinking about what I want for breakfast today. Thank you. I'm back. If I was gone any longer, you probably would have thought I fell into the toilet. Story of my life. Hi, I'm LA of Elay TV, and all my life I just keep falling into the toilet. They just don't make seat covers small enough for me. Let me see here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you 3 times. Hey. Moving forward, I was talking about location. Once again, guys, thank you for waiting because you most definitely did not have to. Locations where stands will likely increase. So finally, of course, airports get the luxury first of getting the first dibs on primarily anything in reference to maintaining traffic flow, because that's one place you don't want backed up. But now we need to bend. Yes, bend had implemented these into urban cities, especially emphasizing the nightlife, because it's the Lyft drivers are, their safety is in concern. Their safety is a concern too. You're going down into the towns and stuff, and it's the party scene. You know what time it is. It's rowdy people, super young kids who get into a lot of trouble and stuff. So that heightens awareness, and the safety factor goes up at night in the nightlife. So having systems in place so the Lyft drivers and the Uber drivers know that there's a designated place for them to pick up the party goers, it's a lot better. Because half the time they're drunk, they're probably getting into the wrong cars. They don't even know where they're going. They're so intoxicated. So to lessen the anxiety and the hassle of dealing with the drunk people who's living in the nightlife, as y'all pick them up, pushing them out to the side where this is where you stand for rideshare services will help take some of that wait time down too. It's already bad enough it's nighttime and the clubs let out, folks intoxicated and folks carrying around, heat. It's just too much. Is there anything else? So thank you, AI Overview, for providing that information in reference to implementing the schedules. I want to know if there is a set schedule. Now, they said they're going to be implementing these things in the future. I want to know, where's the remote control? That's not what I want to know, but dang it. I had to turn the TV down. I'm not sure if it's picking up in the background. So I want to know if there is a set schedule for this. Is there a specific SCHEDU, how do you spell schedule, for the rideshare signs to be, for the ride share signs to be, let's just say, displayed or set up? So that's my question. If they could get hover cars already, the wait time in traffic, exactly, because that will open up a whole nother department for the traffic people to deal with the folks, the hovercraft division, right? So the hover car division, we'll be down here on the ground, and they'll be up this high, floating around and stuff with cars. So that's a whole nother division. That's a whole nother world. So we don't even have to deal with them anymore because they're up there flying around. So we can be regular and enjoy our lives down here while they're hovering around, getting from point A to point B. And in a hover car, point A to point Z. What's going on, Kitty Gamer? Long time no see. Welcome into the show. So I asked, is there a specific schedule for the rideshare signs to be set up, y'all? And I have a nice little paragraph, but I glanced over it. It looks like a whole lot of politics. I hope I am incorrect about this. Let me put, hey. Oh, hold on. Good morning and welcome into the show. Happy Taco Tuesday to you, gamer. Thank you for coming in. Hey. And let me find the waving hand. Do you like Ubers versus taxis, or are you even familiar with taxis? Because I don't know what your age bracket is. You like taxis versus Lyfts or what have you? What did you say? Only problem would be the intoxicated people. Exactly, that's the part. They'll have to have some type of plexiglass in between. And then a whole nother thing, because they'll have to have a new type of street service to, clean up everything underneath there. That's the part. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't even read it. I don't even know what was said, but welcome back. I honestly don't know what was said because I'm looking at two different monitors at different times, and sometimes I'm looking at the monitor where the words come at. It looks like I'm looking at you guys' comments, but most of the time I'm reading off a screen, so I don't catch everything. So if it was blocked, it was blocked. It was just blocked. But thank you for coming in and being a good sport about it. Welcome back. So yeah, I don't know what was said. Thank you for being a good sport and coming back in. Welcome to the show and happy Taco Tuesday to you, and you. Or should I say, moo, and moo. So I asked here, is there a specific schedule for the rideshare signs to be set up? It's because they said they're going to do it, but when is it? Unlike setting up a traffic light or a permanent road sign, there is no single citywide schedule for establishing dedicated rideshare stands. Here we go. It could be now or into eternity when they get this set up. Instead, the implementation happens on the location by location basis, driven by specific needs and partnerships. So usually how that works, because they said they're already implementing some of these cool road sign things for the rideshare people, but they're hitting the bigger states first. So that's basically how it rolls out. It's already happening in a couple of spots in Texas, and then they're venturing out to other states. So that's just how it's going to be. Yeah. And I know of Ubers and taxis cheaper, but you don't use either. Yeah, they're there. And I was talking about how, I was expressing my anxieties in reference to the whole rideshare service thing. It's just me waiting to be picked up, and depending on where I'm waiting, that's what concerns me sometimes. Here is how the process works and where to find information about new stands. Okay, so since I am in my cell phone, my ring light tipped over. My ring light fell asleep. Let me put my ring light back down into this nodule so it won't tip over again. I walk once once a week to Walmart, 20-mile walk. See, that's exactly what I was. That's what I was expressing. It was like because the like if I'm going somewhere, I don't mind getting a ride there because they're picking me up from my place, and I'm going there. But it's all about making my groceries and coming back. It's the wait time. It's me wandering while I'm shopping, in the back of my head saying I don't want to take too much time, so I feel a little rushed, and I don't want to feel rushed when I'm shopping anywhere. And and like trying to figure out when is a good time to schedule another ride service to pick me up, not knowing how long it's going to take, how long the lines are going to be for checkout. And then when that time lapse is over, we have to deal with traffic jams and stuff, so it's like it's getting later, a different type of crowd is coming out, and that forces me to have to wait out there amongst people, and I don't like the vulnerability that it gives, or I feel when I'm just standing out there waiting for my ride to come. So it's things like that that I've experienced when I did use ride shares to do things, or just doctor's appointments, stuff like that in general. But you're usually safe when you're going to a doctor's appointment, but still. So yeah, I'm better off just walking back, because at least I know I'm on my own time. I know how to target the time to get out before it start getting too late. And by the time I wait for my ride share to come, if they don't cancel when they're halfway there or get caught up in the traffic jam, I could have been halfway home if I just walked. So I normally ask Walmart to get the groceries ready for me. So I just got, oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I never thought of that, honestly. I knew there had to be another way. That makes sense, duh, because we order groceries from Walmart. We haven't done it in a few months, but usually, I'll place the order and set it for a right time, because then my husband will pick it up on the way. So it's normally, I'm speaking with my husband, so I'll place the grocery order and ask him which time would be best for me to schedule so you can get it. But if he's out and about, or I want to do something extra special for the family, and the car isn't here, I never thought of that. Thank you so much, Kitty Gamer. So I could just place the order and then be like, I'm going to Walmart, my order's ready, and they can load it up in the car. Brilliant. Because then I can schedule it in as a stop. So thank you for that idea. I'll use that for future reference, because it eliminates a lot of things, at least in the reference of me getting out and grocery shopping or doing surprise birthday shopping. So it's cool. So thank you so much. My doctor is basically my neighbor. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love how you have so much access to proximity of to your things that you need. It's quite a distance here. Everything's scattered out pretty tough in a way, but it is what it is. Let me put this in here. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that idea. Let me find the light bulb for idea. That's a brilliant idea, because then I could just schedule them to pick me up. The groceries are already ready, and then all you have to do is park into the slots 1, 2, or 3, and the Walmart people, as usual, can load up the food in the car and you just go. Brilliant. Never thought of that. I will definitely use that for future reference. I'm looking for my light bulb so I can tell you thank you. I said thank you out loud, but I want to say thank you also in typing. There we go. Thank you for that idea. It's very good. It's very good. There, I sent it. One day we'll have the confidence to go to the store in my best dress, y'all. Tarsus is a mess. When I go shopping, I put on best suit and shoes, and I take them off and go in sloppy a top and gym shorts. That is funny. Oh my gosh, you guys are. Thank you for coming in today. And I figured out mysteries in reference to how to navigate with the rideshare service. Earlier, well, I say about in the middle of this chat, I also talked about expressing how it's comfortable, it's liberating to know that with the transition of modern times, or let's say things that once worked that are considered old, we are repurposing them now to make them current and effective to today. So having said that, I was excitedly expressing to you all that it's possible to be able to be your own rideshare service person independently. You know how easy it seems to be, and how you can tailor your own ride sharing service to your standards of how you want to treat people based on how you were treated, or based on your experiences as getting picked up in the rideshare XYZ. So there's another opportunity available for you to have another job, or for some of you a side hustle. The hospital is the hospital is close. Gas stations down the street, have a few fast foods near by downtown: Burger King, McDonald's, Domino's, Nom Nom, Starbucks. Y'all, you're gonna get this hungry gamer Katie Tarsus. She talking about food. Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Save a Lot. I like Save a Lot. They live up to the name. Chopsticks, sushi, BM, Martins, wow. And I also figured if I asked Walmart to get me groceries, I don't have a reason to grab extra things. That's very smart. So yes, thank you for sharing that, because what your comment provides a perfect example of the evolution of how everything is the same. It's just adjusting. I am the same, but my thoughts have changed from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, heck, a week ago. So it's basically like that. So thank you so much for implementing for me a new way to help make life more efficient and easy for me, and eliminate the thought process of how I can make things work faster. You just sped up my thought process, really, because I've been circling around the wagons knowing that there was a solution out there. It's just trying to figure out how to get to that solution. And then in addition to that, taxis, I really like taxi cabs because I grew up with them. However, things are changing, but taxi cabs don't necessarily have to fade away. They can still exist with the option, if you so fit, to integrate into having your taxi cab be affixed to an app so that you can get more rides. But still, there's still room to do it the old-fashioned way, where you don't have to integrate into an app. Some people just want to be low profile. Let's say that. Some people want to be low profile, don't want to deal with the app, don't want their every move clocked. Not saying it in a bad way. Some people just like, look, I just want to go here. I don't want to go around hemming and hawing in some app talking about what's your location. Just give me a ride so I can get to where I have to go. There's people who are well in abundance like that you can cater to. And that's that. So there's still room for possibility. I bonded with a taxi driver one day when I went to McDonald's drive-thru with him and bought him lunch. That's amazing. That's really cool. That's what life is all about. It's just having fun, engaging with people, socializing, being carefree with giving. When you feel in the spirit of wanting to give or be generous, you can do so freely. That's what makes it fun. You don't know who you're going to meet, but by happenstance, Tarsus had a good conversation and then rolled into buying the guy or girl some lunch. That sounds fun. That's a really happy story, actually. Kitty Gamer says, I asked him for milk, sugar. Oh my gosh, Death Wish sandwich, meat, bread, cream, eggs, tea, frozen foods, chicken breast. Y'all clowning in the chats today. Oh my gosh, let me find the expression. Where is that face I like to make on here? That is funny. Y'all both. Let me put. That's funny. Yes, it is a coffee type. That's why I started laughing. I think I was first, what should I say? I was introduced to Death Wish coffee. I believe I was first introduced to that by way of Amazon. When I shop on there, I like to go on Amazon because it introduces me to coffees that I may not have seen in our grocery store. And nonetheless, if I just want to learn more about what's going on in the world of coffee, I do like to window shop online. So my go-to is to go to Amazon, type in coffee, and see what's floating around. And that's where I was first introduced to Death Wish coffee. So I know what you're talking about, but still, it still makes me laugh. Death Wish coffee, you know, rise you back from the dead. It's like resurrection coffee. You're sleepy like a zombie. Resurrection coffee, get you through your day. Come on. So yeah, Death Wish dark roast. It's number the strongest, exactly. And then last time I had Death Wish, I nearly lost a leg. Y'all is a mess out here. That's funny. So this reminds me of the I was about to say hashtag Meowcat. Shouts out to hashtag Meowcat. Hashtag Meowcat is not in the chat, but shouts out to hashtag Meowcat. I was about to say we talked about one of the morning moves, probably on the Monday, Liquid Death, the water in the can. So we have Liquid Death, which is water in the can, and we have the what is it? The Death Wish coffee. Strongest coffee in the world is the strongest coffee in the world. Yeah. So my question to you is, have you integrated putting some of that into cookies? Because you know how you can put powdered coffee into cookies. I think it will be splendid. So I will be more than willing to try it sprinkled into my goods. My heart just leaped. A good leap. A good joyous happy leap. When I said that sounds really good. Oh my gosh, baked goods. Do we have a cookie? Oh, look it, I have a cookie. Shouts out to the baked goods, y'all. I have a question. Once upon a time I had an air fryer. I no longer have an air fryer. We are in search for a more sturdier, bigger, efficient air fryer. So can you bake cookies in the air fryer? Oh my gosh, that's funny. Hazard on your kids' coffee. You can put everything in cookies. That is for sure. And it's wonderful. Cookies, when you bake them right, it tastes like a whole meal. It tastes like food. Remember in, I was about to say Hocus Pocus. It is the season to watch that movie if you're into it. Have you ever seen Home Alone Part 2? Lost in New York, or is it Home Alone Part 2? Escape from New York or Lost in New York? Nonetheless, Macaulay Culkin was in Home Alone Part 2, something in New York. He was in this fancy smancy hotel. And in his hotel, you guys, he had the you know how they have in those fancy hotels where you can get snacks, but they'll charge it to your room when you take food out of there? He had these gourmet cookies. This was before I knew there was a such thing as gourmet cookies. Heck, it was probably before I knew what the word gourmet was. But at the time, those cookies were really big. Now I know they were gourmet cookies. When you get A gourmet cookie is like a meal. It's like a whole meal. You get a cookie this thick as a deck of playing cards, and you some milk, a cup of milk with ice in it. It's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a whole meal, y'all. You can put everything in cookies. Yes, I don't watch movies a whole lot. I never have for a great time. This movie, it came out, I think, in the 90s. But that's alright if you don't watch movies. That was basically the whole reason of me mentioning the movie, because in that particular movie, he had these cookies that were so big and looked so good. So in reference to how you were saying, you can unfortunately put pretty much anything in cookies. And I'm like, yes, if you make them right, it's a whole meal. It's like a lunch. It just made me want to sit by the window, look outside, let the sun shine down on me, and I just have my milk and my gourmet cookie. And like, lunch is served. And if it's for dinner, give me 3. Now dinner is served. For breakfast, 1 cookie, a muffin. Breakfast is served. I accidentally made edible cookies. I thought it was flour at a friend's. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're talking about food again, Tarsus. It never fails. I don't think there's been one video that's gone by, at least in Morning Mood, where we don't segue and deviate talking about food. I'm glad you made it through that. Were your friends, I'm quite sure they were your friends there to help you as that happened? I'm so sorry that happened. I'm glad that moment has passed. Oh, it sounds like a nightmare. I'm glad you're okay now. Good mercy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they laughed at you. That's not cool. That's not a joke, man. It be like in TV shows like that when someone accidentally gets a hold of something that they did not want, and they're just standing around laughing. I'm like, that's not cool, because they didn't even want that, and it's happening to them. It's an emergency. It's a crisis. It's not a laughing matter. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And that you are now better. I'm gonna look for some flowers to add to that comment. Let me scroll down and find some flowers. There's some flowers I have in mind that I want to attach to the message to you, Kitty. Let me see here. Where's those flowers at? Dear Google, can you please make the emoji buttons look bigger so I don't have to squint my eyes, even with glasses, to find these pictures? Because that's not the flower I want to use. I am determined to find this picture of a flower. Backspace. It shouldn't take this long. Where's the flower? Here it is. I found it. Da-da-da. Elay TV food channel. Exactly. I have food videos, but they're primarily short, so I compiled them into a playlist. So in my shorts, I think it's called, in my playlist, it's called Foods, Fruits, and Things. And then that playlist is all about foods. It's a playlist of YouTube shorts I've made, and it's fruits and foods. So yes, we do have a variety of things over here. I do enjoy talking about food, so eventually I'll circle back around and expand that food catalog. But right now, the catalog needs to be updated with the foods. But yeah, I do have a food and fruits playlist. My glasses are right here. I think I took them off when I went to go to the ladies' room. Why? I don't know. And I didn't put them back on. But my glasses right here. Oh man. The flower looks better than the supposed flowers they gave me. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that moment is past and you are here to share with us in 2025 on Elay TV's platform. I found my glasses. I never lost them. For some reason, I didn't put them back on. It happens. I know my leg is falling asleep, so I need to adjust really quickly before I put my glasses on. Let me move the remote control. This is our remote control. Our remote control. Where is the royal remote control? There are some days, guys, when my legs fall asleep really fast, and there's more days than not where I can be sitting here on the floor, because that's what I'm doing. It's a basic setup where I'm sitting down here on the floor on a pillow. Excuse me, green screen pinned up here, and I'm just vibing. But some days when I do that, my legs don't even fall asleep, and I can be sitting down here for 2.5 hours, and I don't have to adjust. But today I've been having to adjust a little more frequently than others. I have Coke bottle glasses. I wear, people laugh at me, but I think I look distinguished. Yeah. So those your real glasses? I saw. I thought they were cool. Mhm. I saw your glasses on in your shorts you make. They're really cool. I like them. I have a PJ suit like that, but mine's pink, and wow. Cool, your neighbor gave you a gift. A gift of a cool onesie. These things are fun. They're comfortable, and they're like sleeping bags. The whole reason of me jumping into this onesie is, number one, because I like house. Number two, I'm a naturally creative person who likes to express herself. And number three, when I'm hanging out here with my cool peeps in the morning, especially first thing in the morning, guys, because it's early over here still. Well, it's late to me, but early to many. You guys, it is 7:38 over here. To me, that's pretty darn late. So if I'm up in the morning, I want to be as comfortable as possible walking around with my hot chocolate. And these feel like living sleeping bags. So I'm as comfortable, or a blanket. So I'm showing up and being comfortable as possible. It was a welcome gift. I moved in this house at 17. I'm 22 now. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really cool. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. So, better late than never. Welcome to your new home. Congratulations. I'm glad everything's working out for you, and that you have some loving neighbors who actually care about your well-being and your surroundings. I tell you, I don't get into trouble, nor do I look for trouble. So for me, I embrace the quote nosy neighbor, because that's the neighbor that may save your life one day if something seems really off at your house. She or he or they will be the first to tell the police, like, you know what, usually she goes here on this day, but I didn't see her. Or they'll be like, usually, the dog goes out to go, make boom boom out on the yard, but the dog wasn't out. So I decided to come over to see if your dog was okay. I'm like, girl, no, we had to take him to the vet because he has something going on. It's stuff like that. So if you have a schedule, and you have some nosy neighbors, and you like to go on scheduled walks in the morning, or if you have family over and kids over, it's nothing, honestly, especially with the kids. It's nothing like having a fresh set of eyes from a nosy neighbor, because he or she, or the whole family, if they're nosy, can help keep tabs on stuff. So That was Nosy Neighbors was the first security system for neighborhoods, honestly, and the best security systems in neighborhoods. It's 7:38 for you too. Cool. It's 10:38 p.m. where Tarsus is. I will fall asleep with all my snacks on me when your stream is finished. Exactly. I felt a little bad because we have people from from the other side of the country. It's nighttime for you guys, and I'm just starting my day. And I don't say this now, I don't want you to feel like the pressure to have to stay on to support me to just until I get off of here, because there may be days I go on here long. If you want to leave, you can leave. You don't even have to say goodbye. There's no pressure over here. It's the fact that you came over here at all, period, in general. So please know that you're in different time zones and it's bedtime for you. There's no obligation to say goodbye. You have to live your life. So yeah, thank you for that, Tarsus, and everyone else who's been clocking in over here overseas. Thank you for your support. It means a lot. Yup, it's the same time over here. We're in the same time zone. This time zone goes pretty far. It goes from the bottom of this country all the way to the tippy top of the same time zone. It's funny how that works. See, you're in Pennsylvania. I'm in Georgia. Uh-huh. Good morning, Moo. Have a great day. And you too. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a good night. Sleep well. Yeah, so I am in the glorious state of Georgia. Let me, Tarsus said he's in the future. Have you seen SpongeBob SquarePants? For those of you who have not seen this particular episode with SpongeBob SquarePants, Squidward Tentacles had a nervous breakdown because SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally brought Squidward Tentacles into the future. So when Squidward woke up, he thought he was still in his same time, working at the Krusty Krab. But when he woke up into the future, everything was like titanium, chrome, and steel, and super shiny and robotic. And I'm paraphrasing, Patrick was like, "You're in the future, Squidward." And SpongeBob was on the line, "We brought you with us. We brought you with us." And Squidward was like, "What? Future?" He balled up on the floor and he broke down. He's like, "Future." Future. I'm in the future. Y'all, I started laughing so hard when I first saw that. I know I had to start crying laughing. I feel so sorry for Squidward. I mean, he just, every time SpongeBob and Patrick start getting around him, his life is always changed forever for the worse. Yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants. I enjoyed the first few seasons. Season 1, 2, and 3. And then it started getting really weird after that. You know, that's usually how shows go. They're innocent in the beginning, and then the budget gets bigger, and they start acting weird and moving weird and saying stuff that's not for kids. So, but yeah, in the beginning of the stages of SpongeBob, that's where my heart lies the most when I'll think about SpongeBob SquarePants. My little brother loves SpongeBob. I didn't watch that. SpongeBob was originally made for adults. See, I didn't know that. But when I got older, like maybe in my 20s or something, I started watching the videos on YouTube because that was for our time. They're doing it now for the kids who are graduating. You know, like stuff that went over your head when you were a child that you didn't catch, but now that you're an adult or have seen, it's not necessarily an adult, now that you have seen more with your eyes, your mind's eye, you go back and watch some of the shows that you grew up with, it's like, wow. So it's like one of those situations. So I understand your statement when you say that SpongeBob was originally made for adults. When I went back and started watching it again, I'm like, wow, I didn't, yikes, whoops. Thank you so much. I really like Patrick. The boy needs help. He is perfect. It's like he don't need help. What he needs is to go back to that episode, pretty much like Homer Simpson. Patrick Star and Homer Simpson are really geniuses, but an accident happened that caused them to be in the state they are. But what makes it so sad is the summary of it all for Homer Simpson and Patrick Star is life. Everybody likes him the way he is, which is in a defunct state. And so basically, since Patrick Star and Homer Simpson has made this family and chose this life based off a broken state, they really don't want to let that go because it's going to change their world entirely. It means they're going to lose their family and probably their circle of friends in their neighborhood and sense of community and belonging. It's a sad state to be in. That's why I like Patrick and Homer so much, because their character goes deep and it shows basically how generous their hearts are. They have the biggest hearts of all because they sacrifice their state of being to just stay where they are. It's a big line to cross. I too have been in a situation like that, where you start to realize certain things in life, they want you to be the way you are. And it's like, man, they prefer me to be in this broken state. The minute I show signs of getting better, less people come around. More people don't have time for me. So I think everybody is faced with that type of decision. So yeah. So Patrick Star and Homer Simpson are great guys. What's going on, Lord Kelvin? Good morning to you. Thank you for coming in. Like Shrek, there's so many times and I don't notice it when Shrek is a good example. They swear all the time. Like when they went to the fake Disney World and they were singing, they were like, brush your teeth, wash your face. I'm like, oh, Zula is a perfect place. And Donkey was like, oh, let's do that again. He's like, let's not. Oh my gosh, Shrek is a good show. We had it playing last week in the background. Let me put good morning to Lord Kelvin. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, Shrek is one of those shows too. I actually like Shrek because to me it was like a pretty much a creative middle finger to Disney and their movies. So that's what made me like Shrek and basically DreamWorks in general, because it's like they freely made fun of Disney. It was like a competitor to Disney. Although I like Disney movies, when Shrek and stuff came out, I was in a different place and time in my life where I could start seeing, like you said, that some of these the adult seated jokes in these cartoons and stuff. But I like Shrek because it was like a to Disney and all your fairy tale princess stuff. It was fun and funny. So it produced great content and it bridged families together, I think, far as for movie night, the teens with the kids and so on, like that. I need to adjust again. But having said that, Shrek is a good movie. SpongeBob is a good show. And unfortunately, there are things in there where they talk above our heads before we are wise enough to know better. But here we are, gathering and harvesting the good out of the bad. And making a nice little picnic out of it, aren't we? Excuse me, Donkey was called Jack many times in a few movies and scenes. Donkey! I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I like the karaoke that they had with Donkey was singing and stuff. And like the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. scene they did, unfortunately. Was it when they were trying to match make Lord Farquaad with a potential wife? So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. You know, they said Sleeping Beauty was pretty much a bore because she just slept all the time. There's a lot of stuff like that I was catching. But nonetheless, it was still played in schools on Friday nights when the teachers gave the children time to, have some free time for the holidays, watch some movies. I didn't know why my mom covered my ears when I watched it. I watched them all recently, and I see why now. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's really sweet. Yeah, parents and their parenting and protecting us from the evils of the world. Oh boy. It's a perfect balance. It's a fine dance, and it can make you go crazy. I think some parents become hover parents because it's that. I think some parents become hover parents because they see all the evils in the world, and it can be pretty daunting and taxing to try to protect your kids from all the crap they see on TV, plus going to school. And you're mixed in with a lot of kids with various walks of life, harsh life, easy life, stuff that they shouldn't be knowing about, but unfortunately they're getting introduced to and talking about like common talk because they don't know any better, and bringing it home. They're introducing it to your kids, and now you have to explain stuff you should not have to talk to them about until maybe later on in life. It's a hodgepodge of stuff, but still the responsibility goes back a lot to the parent because, hey, this world is dark. You have to do your due diligence, but also not be fall into the don't fall into the comfort and ease of being a hover parent because it's easier to just lock your kid up in the room and not do anything because you're trying to protect them too. So it's a fine dance with raising a child and protecting them in the dark world. Because at the end of the day, from personal experience, the parent will become the enemy. And you will naturally, by default, force your kids right into the arms of the stuff you tried to protect them from. So you have to be cautious. I can say that much for sure. Be that as it may, life goes on, and we're here holding the bag of it, trying to make something out of it. We're trying to make groceries out of a bag that was given to us with holes in it and make it work. I think all of you fine people are making it work here. I didn't know why my mom covered my eyes. Oh yes. What's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for pushing the like button, commenting, and subscribing. We are doing really good over here with our community of people hanging out and just living life. It's obvious I'm finished talking about the taxi Uber Lyft thing, but I wanted to just stay in the live and just chat with you guys since you were here because it's fun. You're here, I'm giving you time, you're giving me of your time, and I'm giving time to you, and I'm just kicking it with you, sharing little bits of my life, and through the years you'll know more and more and more and more and more about me. I'd rather people know more about me like this, through this way, than any other way. It's more fun. That's how a community is built. You don't get to know someone overnight, except for when watching the movie. So, good mercy. This grocery run this month is going to be painful. I am so sorry. If you're into it, like Tarsis was suggesting to me, because I have done this a few times, honestly. Get the buggy and run it up to your house and then run it back when you're done. I've done that a few times in my lifetime. I have. Because it just was convenient for me and my family to just go on, walk to the grocery store. The grocery store wasn't that far, but it was a 2-in-1. And I was thinking about the time, and I was also thinking about the time it would take to schedule the ride and all this stuff. I knew exactly what I wanted to make for dinner. I was like, I'll just walk, bring the buggy back, boom, 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 and food will be done before everybody get home, or by the time they get home. I did it to save time, to make my world better. And it worked out just fine. So I did it a few more times. I really liked it. and I felt really cool. And like it was a win for the family because mom went grocery shopping, dinner's done, I'm back relaxing, and that's that. And I didn't have to deal with the rideshare stuff, them taking so long. I just was in and out. So I hope that your grocery run will be not treacherous and it'll be smooth for you. For those of you who are just coming in, we talked about the Uber. Is Uber and Lyft the new taxi for today? I say yes, it is. It's just about the integration of old with the new if you're willing to do so. And now I'm just kicking it with my cool peeps, winding down before I transition off into something else for the day. I really appreciate you guys coming in. If you have anything you want to add in before I boogie on out of here, y'all had to take a bathroom break today. I thought that was funny. I really try to refrain from having to use the bathroom because there's nothing for you guys to do when I'm away. I don't have StreamYard right now, so I just thought to have music on in the background, so that's something. I'll continue to get creative. It's really fun, but I can't say I'll pat myself on the shoulder. You know how they say pat yourself on the back? I'm technically touching my shoulder, so I'm patting myself on the shoulder by saying at least we have lobby music in the background so you can listen to when I have to be away from the keyboard. A few bags of candy, mini baggy milk, eggs, ground beef, chicken boobs. My sister didn't like when I said chicken boobs. A few bags of candy, mini baggies, milk, eggs, ground beef, chicken boobs, 2 water things for the water machines, cream and rice, angel hair. Angel hair. My husband got me hip to eating angel hair pasta. I actually like it because I really enjoy pasta, y'all. I used to eat so much pasta growing up as a child. I really like pasta. It's so good. It's just, I can just sit there and eat that all day and with some bread. I don't understand because it's like bread and bread, but I can eat pasta with some bread all day and be just so content. And I think that's why I took my glasses off because this ring light is picking up and it's nonetheless. Yes, my husband got me hip to eating angel hair pasta and it's good. So I'm gonna assume, is it safe to assume, I'm gonna assume this, or should I ask, do you use the reusable grocery bags? And if so, what type of reusable grocery bag do you like to use? Do you like to use the super thin ones that are compact that you can ball up like this and actually stick into your pocket? So when you open, it's got all these wrinkles in it, but they're really sturdy. Or do you like to use the reusable bags where it's got a little cardboard at the bottom and you flap it and you can fold it and tuck it under your arm? I have a couple of those and one of the bags you can stick in your pocket. I normally like to keep one of those types of bags that you can just stick in, ball up into your fist. I like to keep one of those stuffed into my purse because yeah, you just never know when you'll need a bag. So, oh my gosh, what did Tarsus say? Let me get back to my comments and here, because it's like I can actually stare into the phone like how I'm talking with you guys right now. And I don't even see the comments like that because I'm just so zoned into my train of thought. And I'm not even reading the comments. Let me go down here on the computer so I can go back and see what Tarsus is talking about. A few grocery bags this month is going to be. Yes, what a wonderful world. A few bags of candy. I know you're not a robot because I know you are not a robot because you went to the toilet. I am definitely not a robot. I used to get asked before AI came into the fold. I used to get asked often if I was a catfish, like a fake person. I'm like, I'm real. That's funny. My next shop is Shaq Gummies and his vodka, canned shark meat, etc. Not canned shark meat, y'all. Tarsus's going to the local grocery to get some canned shark meat. I wouldn't be surprised because Hercules the shark did read an article where he was upset that over here in the US they have been found guilty of putting shark meat into these cans of food. So I would like to say it's probably in the tuna. I'm not sure if Hercules the shark did any more studies to see if they cleared that up or not, but over here they've been busted for putting shark meat into cans of food. Going to, oh no, this month the waters are 10 pounds each and walking to Walmart easy walking, oh my gosh, heels. It will be a challenge. Do you have a wagon? Do you have a wagon? On a good day, on a trash day, you can find someone who throws theirs away because their kids grow up. Yeah, I hope you can get your hands on some type of wagon or a cart. But once again, if you're into it, like Tarsis said, and like I've used before, I just used the buggy and I brought it back to my place. That will work. A pulling cooler. I like those. Aren't those the neatest inventions ever? Because it doubles off as a table when you're picnicking. It's a nice sturdy table. So yeah, so you can use your pulling cooler. Then of course, lap your grocery bags over the arm of the handles and sit it on there. You might need some cardboard so you don't risk the bag slipping through the two arms of the pulling cooler, but you can easily find a sturdy cardboard, a box of cardboard from the grocery store you're going to, and then that can be deemed for support. So you do have something. The pulling cooler can work. I saw someone do that actually. Where they just locked it up where the bikes are parked at, the bike racks. I saw a it's so difficult for me to say that. I saw a pulling cooler locked up at a bike rack. So they probably did the same thing. They probably walked to the store because it was the summertime, so it was a good idea. And they had it locked up to the bike rack. So you can do that. So when you get back out, you can ensure that it's there and all that stuff. Or just let someone know at the service desk, hey, this is mine, so I walked here, and can I leave it here, and so I can put my things in on my way out, so they can keep it safe for you. I'm quite sure they can accommodate for that because you're there to purchase from their store. So I'm quite sure that can be a possibility. I only eat half as much as Shark Hercules as and that's intentional or is it accidental? Because you don't know that when you're getting star-kissed tuna fish, it's not really tuna fish, it's shark meat. Hey, dun dun dun. Yikes. I should probably get my pink buggy fixed, but I've been avoiding to. Hopefully it won't cost an arm and a leg, and maybe someone in your community can rig it up for you some type of way. If anything, depending on if you're into the tackiness of it all or not, you might can find you one of those, I forgot what you call them at the time. If you go to the hardware store and get you one of those things they use when they're fixing cars and stuff, they have them for the cheap. You can just tack that under your carton and be on your way. But I drink 12 Death Wish coffee. I can get to the store in 20. Oh my gosh. Normally takes an hour. Be doubly safe on your adventure when you drink the Death Wish coffee. They have hills and stuff to go up and down. But yes, I'm quite sure with your community, someone can probably rig it up for you if you don't mind the appearance of how the cart will look if they makeshift it. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm quite sure there's another way. If you don't mind, if you feel comfortable, there's always GoFundMe's because your story is reasonable enough. It's practical. There's a GoFundMe or, wow, investing in a motorbike. Those are less. Or an electric bike. Those are even less nowadays. And have a little hitch behind it so you can transport yourself. I've seen a guy once upon a time, he had a motorbike, and he had a basket about the size of the baskets that they normally have on those tricycle bikes, like those beach bikes or something they have with the 3 wheels. Well, he had a basket about that size, and he had some caster wheels under it. He had a board with some caster wheels drilled into it. And then, he had for enforcement the metal brackets in between. And he just rigged that to his motorbike, and that's how he got back and forth. I saw him when I was going to the library a lot. So he did little things like that, but that's what he did to um, make ends meet. I believe he said he had a car. I got to chat with him because I think he was new to the neighborhood, but lived on the busy side of the neighborhood. And so, since our house at that time was on the corner, I got to chat with him, and I got to get to know him a little bit because we went to the same library. And that's where we got to chat. And he said he has a vehicle, but he avoids using it because it costs so much, so it's just sitting there. So when he has to do light errands and stuff, he got a bike and put a motor on it. This was before motorbikes are the way they are today. This was in the early 90s. And he put hitched a basket to the back of it, and had a basket in front of his bike, and that's how he did things. So, in the name of making things work until further notice, downsizing that idea that you have and find a more minimalistic way that don't break the budget but keep you safe, and not from hurting yourself and overexerting yourself. Although you're young, you still want to try to avoid overly exerting yourself. See? Exactly. So there's a lot of options until further notice that I believe you may be able to find. And I am wishing the best for you and when your grocery store endeavors, because I had to do it too. I have a chopper that's a bike type made in 2004. It looks like a motorcycle. Those are awesome. I wanted one of those so bad. They look so cool, and they are so cool. Yeah. Those are really neat. It can be done. So, yeah, a nice wagon or something. But you have something to start with already. You have your water cooler on wheels, so that's the foundation for something. So you're not just starting off with nothing at all. Plus you're saving money. So I do wish you the best on your grocery shopping endeavors. Heck, I just used the buggy and pushed it back later. My dad gave it to me. I thought of exactly. That's a great birthday gift. Once you fix it up, yup. It's about that, because then not only it saves your dad some money so he can do more, it also gives you something to do. And what it does, you probably already know, it puts more value. You're putting more value back into something and making it your own. It's just more pride and value when you get a fixer-upper and make it your own, because then the palette is all yours. You can design it to fit your needs. And now you might be in another stage where you're going to repurpose it to fit the current state of your needs right now. And that's just to have more hands to help you carry your things back and forth. That's really cool. I'm wondering, I'm not experiencing motor anything, but I'm wondering if you took it around to a lawn repair shop, you think somebody will be able to fix it for you for a lesser price? Someone who really just loves to tinker on things. Perhaps if you can take it there, someone can fix it for you for a lesser price. Hercules is zooming around in his Maserati while we're talking about this. Exactly. Come to think of it, I thought I heard some zoom, zoom going by. I'm like, it's too early for people over here in Georgia to be waking up. It's just 8:10. They're trying to hurry up and get their kids to school and get to work before it's too late. How in the world am I hearing these fancy schmancy cars zooming around here? And it's not even the weekend. You know what? High five. It's Hercules out there doing his thing. Last time, didn't you say you saw Hercules? I was reading your comments, Tarsus, and you said you saw Hercules zooming with Shaquille O'Neal or somebody. It was some celebrity. You saw them zooming around. That dude would be everywhere. I tried the cheapest was a date with one. Okay, I understand. Yeah. So until further notice, all I can think of is a mini motor shop where they repair motors for like small repair. Is there anything else? No, because you want to keep that. At this moment, that's all that brainstorming and troubleshooting I can think of. But thank you for sharing that with me, and I hope by us having this conversation it'll help you bounce around some ideas, or perhaps open up the window of opportunity for something to now just land at your feet so it can be done. That's the way things seem to work. They're like, girl, I was playing the replay back on Elay TV and I heard someone in there talk about they need something fixed. Oh, we fix on these all the time. Let me help you. So now that you really put it out there for the world, who knows what can happen now. So this is really exciting. I'm going to take a sip of water, guys. It's really good. It's at room temperature. I didn't want it to be too cold because I like the type of vibe I'm in. That's the thing. That's the risk you will be taking. They are not. The thing is, it's like, so for some of them, it's like going to a hair salon or going to one of your friends' houses. She knows how to do hair. Or going to a barber. He knows how to cut hair really well. He's just not certified. So it's kind of like that. So I don't feel as shaky about it because to me, in my mind, it's just like that. You've seen their work. Their reputation goes before them because they worked on other people's things. That's what you can do. You probably already know. Go to a club and the club shops and see all the work that's come out of there, and you'd be like, they've done a pretty solid job. I haven't heard anybody complain. So, you know, safety always. But yeah, it's pretty much like that. Cool. That might be the place. That might be the place then. That's really cool. That sounds very promising. You know, more promising than going to a small engines repair shop, because all they know how to do, well, I'm not limiting them, but work on lawnmowers and stuff like that, and yard stuff. But if you're going to an actual garage, I'm quite sure they'll be able to, at least if anything, what is it? You know, when you go to a car shop, you know the problem for the issue, but you just need them to do something so I can get this puppy up and running. We'll work towards the other stuff later. So maybe they can even do that. Rig it up so you can just get that puppy up and running. And all's well, you know? So perhaps that. In my mind, if they're versed in racing cars, that means they've already are familiar with what you have. I don't know much about racing cars or anything, but if they're versed on racing cars, that means they've graduated beyond what you have in the way far as being educated on working on that type of bike that you're going to bring in to possibly be fixed. So I'm quite sure they will be able to know the anatomy of how your racer works, and should be able to apply the mechanics. So I think they'll be able to make it work. With the street racers and stuff, there's no limits. I respect them on this aspect of their creativity and openness to make things work. You have to open stuff up, break it down, and rebuild it so it can cater to your liking. And heck, sometimes they had to break the stuff down and open it up because they're on a tight budget. And the only way to make it work is to make safe altercations. So even with your bike, I'm quite sure in the spirit of creativity, they will be willing to take a look at it and make it go. That'll be a beautiful thing. It'll be a fun experience. I think you may be going in the right direction. I've just finished some more of my snacks. Let me see what time it is. It is 8:16, guys. You guys have anything else you want to add? I'm really enjoying the vibe here. I say that all the time, but it's true. It's true. It's true. I'll need to take a trip to the hood side. I've been avoiding that side of town. Yeah. Check out their hours first. You might want to give a call to see what their hours are, honestly. Before you make a surprise and they're not there. You know, they could have taken the day off to go celebrate someone's birthday, what have you. So if you go there, you know the place more than me. Make a call, talk about what you have to offer, or even show them pictures on email. They have an email. Most people at least have an email or whatever, or you can DM them. They might have a website up or whatever. Show them the status of your bike. Give them a quick rundown. You believe that they'll be able to be of service to help you with the bike because, I mean, good mercy. It's a garage where creative minds work and things like that. And then set up a time to go. I'm just trying to think of things to help you save a trip. So, yeah, having said that, and who knows, something may work out. They could be there. Okay. So next thing is, if you haven't been there in a while, you know the location, you'll have to trust your spider senses to pick a day to go based on familiarity of the place. Or if you know about anybody in that proxy who, let's say, works in that area or just driving by, hey, have you been down there lately? Or can you go a different direction to work to see when you go past that place if they're open? Do seem like they're open around lunchtime or after lunchtime. Maybe you can have someone be your eyes for you who lives in that area. Can you drive by and see what's going on? Are they still available? Are they still jumping? All of this is just to save you some time. Outside of that, to this knowledge, this is all the information I can think of to help you be on your way. And I'm totally glad that you came in so I can help you kick around some ideas, right? But once again, having said that, in closing, I believe you're in the right direction. Just use your spider senses in reference to that. And that's all I can say. Trust your gut. If you don't feel comfortable going by yourself, don't. And even in the midst of going to the place and you start to feel some type of way, deviate and go to a restaurant and see what happens with that feeling. And if you still have that feeling 5, 10, 15 minutes later towards the direction of which you're going, just abort and try again. Cool. So now you have some eyes in the sky. That's a safe way to have a point of contact to do that, because you can even throw it out there. Hey, I have this bike, to which he probably already is aware of. I'm thinking about getting some work done. Can you drop them a line or send your neighbor the actual picture so he or she can pass that along at the shop and see what they can do? That's perfect. That's okay about all that. Yeah. So whatever you got to do in the lines of all parties being, squared away and safe on that, have at it. It can just be a verbal conversation. I want this fixed. I want to see if they can do something with it. When's the best time you think I should go? Who knows? Maybe he can drop it off for you. It all depends. So yeah, this is really good. This is like a mystery, but it's not a live Scooby-Doo mystery. Can we help Kitty Gamer get her chopper fixed? To the chopper! We will save you! We will save you! No chopper left behind! I'm happy I've been able to help you kick through some ideas for this. This is really fun. I'm enjoying this. Take that, McDonald's. I'm loving it. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but it seems like in that realm of situations, you may be able to, you have more answers when it comes to that. I don't want to get all into your business, nor do I want all of your business on here, neither, but we'll stop with that. And it seems like you know more information, and you may have all the answers you need to get your bike along the way. Hopefully it won't cause an arm and a leg. That's why Hercules bought his fancy schmancy drone to scope out. Exactly. Hercules be on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's better safe than sorry. So yeah, so we'll wrap this up in a nice little bowl. Please be careful. Use your spider senses. If you don't feel safe to go over there alone, do not go alone. If you feel like this whole situation and for you to get your bike fixed is more leaning towards a direction where you think you should just wait, then just wait. But I did try to provide some safe ways and resourceful ways for you to get that done. I don't want to know any more about it. But what you did provide is plenty enough information for me to see that I think you'll be in the right direction. Hercules is not just a pretty face. He's got to, oh my gosh. Very good. You have a good day. Be safe. Y'all have a good time out there. I love you all. Continue to use your spider senses, and congratulations. I'm wishing you the best, Kitty Gamer. Continue to be brave, bright, bold. Never doubt your instincts. Y'all have a good one. And on that note, I'll sign out with the morning moo song. Have a wonderful day. You too have a wonderful day. I love you guys. I did it right. Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow morning. Take care. Be safe.